They'll use the terminology, other names for him, Jehovah, but we use the name Yahuah, and that right, meaning the existing one. That's what we try to do. We try to acknowledge him for who he is. He exists. It's just people have to be willing to acknowledge him. And acknowledging him is by the way we conduct ourselves. You know, it's an order to everything we do when it comes down to the plan of salvation. He definitely left the best plan a man or woman can get when it comes down to living right. And you know, we're in the last days of this whole thing, so it's definitely important to make sure that we make all the proper necessary adjustment needed to make sure we enter in to Alam Kai. Isn't that right? That's everlasting life. That's what we're trying to obtain. Now you got life. Only problem with the life we got now, it's temporary. And since it's temporary, we try to seek a more enduring substance. That's the whole purpose of getting sick in these bodies and other things that we go through and we suffer from them. So you'll desire something greater. The greater we desire is to be with the existing one. In fact, he told her he exists, and he told her that he higher. And that mean, I exist, I always will exist. Isn't that right? That's what you want to be with, somebody that never dies. Isn't that right? So like the Zamardi was singing, and that my desire is to be with you and never ever die. Isn't that right? Appreciate it. Appreciate all that Yahuah gives us to do. That's a check too. But we're gonna get it to Chris. Come on, Chris. We ain't got all day. Care. Father leader. I'm sorry that mom. Some people on punishment here, so they had to put checks up here when they mess up. These guys here, they regulars. We don't even waste no time. Well, we don't wait. We're gonna get them out there. We try to get them in early. One of them in the gray suit, he's actually a white man. He got stuck with that black skin, so we're still trying to figure that one out. Isn't that right? Is that racial discrimination we call you up?
It's reverse racism.
That's a reverse racism. Justin, you agree with him? When we call him up and make him put a check, he said that racism.
No, it's impossible to be racist when you're a person of
Color. That's right. See, no, white people, we can't be racist. We don't have no power. See, that's impossible for us to be racist. Well, can we be prejudiced? Justin said that's the word right there. We're prejudiced. Hey, what they call it. And right. The thing is, I really hope that people have really been considering, you know, since your confessions and all, you know, the importance of making sure that, you know, you stay consistent with what it is that you, you know, part of coming and confessing is making sure you put yourself in a consistent when it comes to your living. A lot of times the problem with religion sometimes allow people to evade responsibilities because you'll kind of work on an article of a corporation or of an entity or a group, and you can kind of sometimes use it as a cloak for not doing what you actually need to do, just like kind of with the war with Israel and with the Jews, and what I call them Israel, and with the Palestinians. Both people claim a religion of peace, but they got war. And a lot of times your war come in because there's no inner peace. And that's the real problem with it, because even EU, what they call Job, with his companions, they came to question him about him being right. He asked them how forcible were right words. What was your argument to prove? You know, a lot of times we waste a lot of time arguing and fighting and bickering with each other. And you don't really end up with a lot of results. You wind up with a lot of heartache and a lot of frustration and headaches and blood pressure and other things with you. So we try to learn how to come back to solve things in a way that Mr. Yahuah set it up. And by doing that is to kind of really look at yourself. A lot of times you find people in a lot of disarray. It's because spiritually, people in disarray. They might not, you know, people don't typically notice it, because when you're in disarray, it's hard to notice other people. Once you kind of get you some inner shalom, peace, prosperity, health, then you kind of look at things differently. You know, our peace doesn't just come in with just, I'm okay, it's a health. And there's other things he allows to happen to give you that peace. And it's your responsibility once you get it to try to make sure you keep it. You know, a lot of times we allow other people and situations to come in our life and kind of stagnate us or cause us to stumble and fall. For like I said, I was doing good to somebody made me mad. I mean, that's because they just don't have it. And when people don't have it, they're not going to allow you to possess it. It's like you see people robbing stores, you see this new thing, go in the store and snatch stuff. You know why? Because they don't have it. So if I don't have it, why you got it? Until people learn how to get an inner peace for themselves and stop allowing things to become, you know, that thing that more or less calms them and give them that happiness and that joy, you'll never be happy. I did it all, and you know, I had a lot of things in life, but I never had that inner peace till I really got to understand about how this thing actually works. when you don't have it and when you don't understand or know how to achieve it, it affects you in everything you do in life. It affects your judgment. You don't believe it. You might not believe it. It affects your judgment. Because a lot of times when you deal with people, I mean, I was a person, I was quick to condemn. And a lot of times it's quick to condemn because you don't try to get a understanding of why. Everybody's situation is a little different. And you kind of look at a person and try to consider where a person kind of come from to do things. It don't matter. I might say, well, if it's wrong, I don't care. You'll be surprised how that plays a part of a person's behavior. From their rearing, other things that they encounter, other things that happen, misinformation, disinformation. All these things play a part. Just like with religion, a lot of people quit and just give up because you have heard so many different antics when it come down to religion or the plan of salvation. You don't have to do all that. It don't take all that. You don't have to go and be in a building. You don't have to do all this. But all of a sudden, when people go to the hospital, they don't want to be treated outside. They want to go inside the building. It's amazing. Everywhere they can go in a building, but for some reason, you ain't got to be in a building to come in and get an order or have structure. The only thing the building does, it just kind of puts things in a structure. It contains things like a basket. You know, the effect is the word. So the more or less with the structure, you set them up to try to get people in a setting where they mind for it. You know what I'm saying? It's like you don't do operations at a club. And then while the music and the DJ jumping, somebody gonna mess up. That doctor hears old jam, man, you have a cut all the way from your head down to your behind hole. So there's certain places that's a setting for what you're trying to get. And when you're trying to get salvation, you gotta make sure you sit in a place where you can actually get it, where it can be administered, it can be received. And those are things a lot of times we don't consider. And even setting yourself in the mind. I remember being little, when I was in the country, you get ready to come, they tell you, you know, they call it supper, time to supper. They tell supper, they tell you to go wash up. You go behind one run that's sitting at that table. You go kill your behind there and wash up before you eat. They want you to get yourself ready. You don't come straight in, you're gonna make preparation before you sit down and eat. But that's the same thing we look at when you come down for the word. We make preparation. That way you gotta set your mind, because when the word comes, because of how we structure the people and because of all the different things that we have to fight and we deal with, even with ourselves, not just with other people, wanting to advance in life, want to have things, want to see things different, dealing with our health. A lot of times you have to look at putting yourself in a setting for the word. And that's a hard thing to do if you don't understand the validity or the value of the word. We talked about, again, everything you do, you need to put a value on it. Just put a value on it. I had a situation that I was talking to my sons about, and I was telling them about, you know, I put a value on it. I said, whatever they have to do, don't waste time with it, because I put a value on it. Don't even get yourself tangled with it. I said, because of the journey that we own, you have to really start looking. I realized how I wasted a lot of time in life by not considering it, and I think it was because a lot of times life will have a way of fooling you to believe that you have more time than what you have. I have the time to be mad and upset with you, and the whole thing, when I realized I really don't have that time. None of us have it. It's too easy for a car crash, a stray bullet, a heart attack, a stroke, just whatever it might be. Just natural cause, you just went in your sleep. So then you have to start putting value on things and people and situations. Then the main thing is putting a value on the existing one. What is, like, when I grew up, I heard about God, and no, I don't get caught in the title part of it, you know, because this is what we were given as a name. But I just knew you don't see him or talk to him. I mean, he speaks back with you, but he is. And that's about the best people could tell me about him. You know, he is. And God moves in mysterious ways. And because of how he moves, I don't know his order, then I don't really know how to receive him. It's like if a person just doing things, don't understand why they're doing them, then how do I really accept it? Think about it. You were told he moved in mysterious ways. So it's really kind of hard to really fathom him and lock down, because he just does things out of nowhere. And that's not exactly true. And people told us what they knew, and it wasn't enough. It's just not enough to contain a man or woman, because as people, we deal with so many different things. You can't afford to have a God that's just doing stuff. Life is about structure. You come into school, y'all remember y'all first day going to school? They might tell you elementary, sit down in a circle. Y'all remember that? They want you to sit down. Everything has a structure, but then you have a God that's doing all these things, and there's no order. When that's not true, he has an order for everything he does. But when you don't know it, then how do you create the relationship with him? And people might say, well, I mean, for me, I mean, it don't matter, I still serve, but you're serving something that you don't actually know who he is. Knowing what his name is, when you say Yahuah, it's sound and it's vibration with his name. You know what I'm saying? I mean, sounds, your ear, I mean, just the technology, how things work for you. You're hearing words. Don't you know your ear has to take in all those different sound and wavelengths and put them together to know what I'm saying? Like, you're just hearing words. It's that fast that your ear processes those sound waves that I'm putting out, and it catches it, and it formulates to you understanding what I'm saying. Well, that's the same order that happens with Yahuah. Once we get a part of the plan, then you understand the sound wave. Your ear can be open to a discipline that you can understand what he's saying, and you can understand it through things, how he operates. You don't have to physically see him, but you need to know the workings of him. That's how I know he exists. And then I had to learn the value of what he said, and the fact that it was more important for me to know that he kills, that he destroys, that he makes sick. Then he let me know I heal and I make alive. I need to know that first. Because he needs to have a fear for me. That fear allows me not to cross over certain barriers. You know what I'm saying? Why you don't get on the expressway and drive the wrong way? Who know why? Why? Fear of death, see? See, it has to be something. You can't, it's a sign of death, say, wrong way. You think that stop people from going down there? No, it's no fear. I don't acknowledge that sign. I didn't even pay attention. And this is what happened with people when it comes down to the Creator. You got to pay attention to the signs. See, when we read in the book of Ra Shyth, they call Genesis, and it's important to always know, people say, well, you play a lot of word games. It's not word games. It's just going back to the simplest point of how you get to places. You know, they say the shortest distance between 2 points? Straight line. Amazing, because that's the easy way to get to Yahuah. You're going to have to be straight. You're going to have to go straight. You're going to have to go straight because the way is straight and it's narrow. So it doesn't give you a whole lot of playroom to kind of juggle off to the sides. You know, it's important to understand that. A lot of times people feel like they're going straight, but you got enough room between the lanes, you can almost weave. You can play game. If I was saying I'm weaving, I said, but I didn't go out the line. They said, yeah, you didn't, but I'm in the line. So he said, what Yahuah said, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna make this thing real narrow. The slightest move turn, you'll be out the way. Because it's a restricted way. But you need to understand the purpose of it, because the way to life, kai, life, okay, it's a real particular way it has to be done. And you have to understand how it has to be done. So when you're dealing with him, you're dealing with a man that sets order. Just like in creation, bara. Bara means I create. They'll use a word in magician, abracadabra. They say, he said, I create. He creates when he speaks, when he put things into play. But he has an expectation for things. And he expects for things to keep their order. Because when it keeps an order, then he said, I acknowledge it. Because it keeps a certain order. The reason why we don't get people, when I say we, people all over, is because, one, we don't know him, and then we don't know the custom. And not knowing the custom, it hinders us, and then it looks as though he's ineffective. He's not ineffective. He just got an order. There's a certain way you have to come. The writing tells us that that he that comes to Elohim, the first thing there, what he has to do, he must do what? He must believe that what? That he is the supreme ruler. See, God doesn't have the name Elohim. It means he's supreme ruler. That he must, and what else you had to do? What you got?
You must first believe that he rewarded them that diligently seek.
You had to believe there's a reward for it. Why would I do it if there's nothing in it? Don't make any sense. Why would I do it? People say, I don't know, I just do it. That's crazy. He wouldn't have me to serve that said, just do it. He said, it doesn't give me the motivation. It's just like a parent, you might say do something, they say do it. They say, get in there and do it because I said it. You'll do it, but that should be under, is that what you want to do? I did it, but that ain't what I want to do. You said do it. He said, and I know you wouldn't do it because you're human. So he does it with the way. If you do it, he said, there's a reward to what you're doing. Something that causes an enthusiasm. Y'all got it? When you think about it, in the 100th division of Tehillim, which is praise that they call Psalm, he said, let me say, make Joyful noise. That noise, a sound. It's a sound you'll give off. That sound pitch is what they'll recognize. See, because there's a distinction between the sounds. Because I just said make a noise, which is a sound, is what he actually make a sound. But the sound has to be a sound that he acknowledges. Y'all got it? And it has to be a joyful one, shusha. And then he said, joyful noise, all ye, see, the whole land, the whole region. And then you were supposed to shakar him, which is serve him. See, when you look at serve, for us, it's adore. You know, sometimes a man can love one, they say, man, he worship her. You know, some amazing people say that. He don't pray to her, it's because of the attitude and because of what he gives toward her. So when people hear serve, think about it, I said serve. Serve for us and being people of color go straight back to slavery. So you miss the actual meaning of what he's trying to get. For us, the word is shakar. It's serve. It means to adore. You have an admiration for, you know what I'm saying? A respect for, a desire. So he said, when you do it, when you make the sound, then I need you to adore me. And when you come before my presence, you're gonna have to have shirt. You need to be singing. And when you singing, you're gonna need to have some knowledge. What knowledge? Hands. What knowledge? That's tight. What's the knowledge? That No, you got to know first that he is Yahuah. First thing you need to know who he is. He is Yahuah. And then you need to understand something. You didn't make him. He made you. It's he that has made us and not we ourselves. Then you need to understand now what's your connection. We are his people, his arm. Where's your arm at? Can anybody raise their arm? How many people armed like outside right now? How many people armed in the car? How about who armed at the house? So let me ask you a question. It might sound stupid, I just want to know. Would by chance, anywhere you go, would that thing, that limb that hang from your shoulder, would it go with you? Well, that's what we're going to have to look at. That's what he told you, we're his arm. Because you got to remember, and the purpose of why it refers to us as an arm, because it's a part of the body. That means my arm has a part, it's connected to the body. See, it's not just, no, we his people. No. I want you to know you're my arm. You're my strength. You're my strength. So I want you to know that there is a connection to you. Sometimes you read things, you get used to singing it and quoting preachers say, I read the first verse and you read the second verse. But did you really understand what you were reading? Because he told you his arm. And then he came back to let you know that you his sheep. And you know what a sheep got to have? They got to have a rod, got to have a shepherd. Isn't that right? All these things are important for you to realize. We have sheep, they got to have a shepherd. He lets you know that's somebody that feeds them. And that's what he does when he allows us to come and hear the word. He said, I'm feeding you. See, what he gives us when we follow the order, it's a protection to you. Because if you follow the order, it's things that are working around you that you and I can't possibly see. You know today there's some people that died. You ain't gonna believe it. They ain't even had that on their schedule today. Sun was shining. How many of y'all agree it wasn't too hot? Wasn't too cold today? Pretty nice day. And that fooled some people. That fooled some people. That fooled, and it was a payday for them. But he said the day was the day for them to pay up. Because he was calling in all his debts. So our goal is to understand why we're here, understand who we're supposed to adore, understand the order. That's how you get the results. So it's a lot of removing of self. It's a lot of self got to be removed. A lot of self got to be removed in order to find the order and to get the connection. See, a lot of time what keeps us from getting connected to him, because he's trying to do one thing and we're trying to do another one. And then you know how that go. Well, you know how it is. He works in mysterious ways. But amazing that he records all the way he works. So what's mysterious he's trying to figure out? See, just the conversation of he working mysterious ways, the truth being to be told, so you don't know me. Because I can't get you to follow something if I'm just doing something. Come and do a favor. All right. All right, you ready? You gonna follow me? No. What you doing? Where's that? Wait. Huh? See, I'm moving mysterious ways.
Yes, sir.
He ain't trying to be saved. Now I'm gonna condemn this man. I'm gonna send him to Sheol, because he can't follow. He's not moving mysterious ways. Would that be fair, though? Now, you say that as human beings, can we believe that the supreme ruler dumber than us? Right. That he unjust? In 1 Corinthians chapter 10, about verse 10, the writers record that Elohim is not unjust, that he'll forget your labor of a heart, which is love, your affection for. He recognizes the affection, not infection, that you have when it's dedicated toward him. So in order to get the results from him, you need to know him. Y'all got it? All right, let's look at this thing. This is what we're reading right here. This is for order. And what we're doing, I tell you, first of all, by trade, we're builders, okay? Because we follow Elohim. According to the Ra Shyth, they call Genesis 1:26, he said, let us make each in our image, resembling, after our likeness. That's right. So then he said, and let him have. So if he made us in his image, by trade, by nature, we got to be builders. We got to be, because he created. He bara. So he let you know you create. Why would people pick up orders that they want to pick up? How do you don't have all the traits? There are traits that we instinctively have. Y'all got it? Instead of so we build. So it makes sense for me that when I'm teaching, I need to establish a foundation. Before he came and put anything, first of all, there had to be a foundation here. Come on, he just didn't put something up in the midst of the air. He made sure there was a foundation. Hello? Yes, sir. That's the first thing we got to do. We got to establish a foundation. This is what happened with people. This is what happened with me. Emotional, very emotional person. I laugh, I cry too. But you don't want emotions to get in the way of judgment. And a lot of times, how many times have we made bad decisions because of emotions? Irrational decisions because of emotions. So Elohim has established a premise. Let's do it according to the rule. So the rule has already been set, an order. So when we do it according to the rule, then we don't have to worry about things just emotionally being done, because there's an order for what we do. And the problem happens once you break outside of the order, then you put yourself in what we're going to look at as a detriment. Okay, if he said this, he's established it as a safety zone. He said, here, I work. Here. Here's the safety zone, right here. Now, what's the problem? Lord Jesus, I don't know what's going on. Look like everything in the world coming. The kitchen sink getting thrown at me. Man, look, every time I look around, man, look like something coming. He telling me he got stuff. Anybody know what's going on? Lord, huh? See, I got to get back in order. See, when you start looking at why things happen, the first thing to start to adjust is where you at? Where you at in your relationship? You know how many times I sought him and looked for him when I was on the outside? And the thing was, the motivation of keeping the things on me was to force me to get back inside. He realized, I can't work while you here, because if I work while you here, I'm tending to stay where I'm at. Yep. You know, they say sometimes you got to meet a man where he at. No, sometimes you got to get a man to come to where you at. If you want help. If you want my help. That's what all cool. They know what it is. He said, I can't come to where you got. You got to come to me. That way, when Yahushua came, who they called Jesus, his name means Yahuah salvation. He told you I'll come and get you. He said, come unto me, all that burden and heavy laden. And you know what? I'm so glad he came to me and gave me rest. That's going to be a little different than what he said. He said, well, I might not have worded it right. It's important to understand, because it's an order. You got to come to him. He even told me, he said, you draw nigh to me. And then I draw nigh to you. I'm not coming to where you at, because there has to be some responsibility on your end. A lot of times there are people that ask for help, but then you got to look at where they're at. You got to recognize some people need help and some people need advice. And some people need better off left where they at. Because if you really looking and you seeking, and he said, then there should be something on your end.
That's right.
You should have something in it. Y'all got it. And that's, people don't realize, they want everybody to have bought these mystical stories of people where he just came in there with them and sat down and they were drinking a bit and them and God smoking a cigarette and everything was going good. And then he just changed everything. And you start listening, and then you start saying, wow, well, maybe I need to do this. He'll come. No, they don't have a relationship. And it's because when everybody's doing something that's out of order, what makes your story better than mine? You lying, I lie too. So now everybody got a fictitious story about a relationship that does not exist. So the goal is to go back through and search for the order. That's the only thing we do. Let's go back in and search what is the order. Okay? All right, so we set a foundation. Our foundation we'll use is Romans 15:4, which is very familiar for you guys. At Romans 15:4, he'll read it, and I'll tell you the English meaning to it. They might look, well, it's not as important. I think it becomes important after a while. Because once you come into the knowledge of, or you start to, let me say you start to accept. I think coming to knowledge is starting to accept. Because there are a lot of things we all know, we just don't accept it. And I think when you come into the acceptance of it, then you kind of start looking at, I want to get back to, if I can get what he actually said, that'd be a little more clear for me versus than what 10 or 15, 20, 30 other people telling me what they feel like he said, then I get some other additives with it. The goal is to get to what did he say and what is the purpose. Like people say, well, you don't question him, you just do it. It's not about questioning. If you're doing something you don't know why you're doing it, don't you know you ain't gonna be doing that too long? Even just a little, your sense gonna kick in and say, I don't even know why I'm doing this. That's just gonna be that. Why am I doing this? He wouldn't do that to you. People made us believe that. We don't question, it's not questioning. I need to know why I'm doing something. Because I need to know if it's a benefit or if it's a hurt. And a lot of times people are doing things, it's not a benefit, it's a hurt to them. Because you'll become numb with religion. Everybody's trying to say you something, everybody trying to get you to do something, and then you're trying to find, well, which way is right? So we try to get it and sit down and look and say, if we're saying that this is the word, why can't we follow it? And if he's asking to do something that we're incapable of doing it, it wouldn't make sense. And the truth of the matter is, he hadn't asked us to do nothing you're incapable of doing. It's all about choices. Well, see, back then, if that's the case, if we use that for our terminology, for our justification, it makes no sense to do nothing in this book. You ain't gonna believe it. Everything was back then.
Yep.
And they have nothing in here that happened yesterday.
Nope.
Everything in this book was back then, but amazingly, people can go back and pick what they want. I can do all things through Christ that do what? Well, that was back then. He'll give you the desires of your heart. When was that? But amazingly, he do that now, but he don't do the other stuff. Because it becomes a matter of what we're comfortable doing. See, anything that puts us in a stress or restriction becomes questionable. Because the people that we're people flesh. And being flesh, why wouldn't you want to do whatever it is? Why wouldn't you want to drink? Why wouldn't you want to smoke? Why wouldn't you want to fornicate? Why wouldn't you want to, all of these are works of the flesh. A spirit can't have sex. A spirit, if you took the spirit, what you call the spirit, what we know for the spirit because it's unseen, sight unseen. So what we use to recognize it, kadim, the wind. We call it kadim, the wind, right? The ruah, it's a wind. Because you look at the wind has a force. You don't see it, but you can see the attributes of the wind. A tornado come through, that's the wind. So you see the attribute, you see where it can pick up things, they can formulate a shape. Well, that's all Yahuah did when he made you. He created a shape and he put his wind in it. Come on, that's all he did. See, people try to act like they can't understand. People understand what they want to understand. He told you he created man, and man, he said he breathed into a nostril. All he did was put a whirlwind in you, and you became a living nefesh, which is a living soul. So the things that you see out here happening, they're not hard to put together to understand him and your existence and your relationship. So we tend to use things when we don't want to accept things. Being people, the flesh is open to, think about it. Your flesh was made from him. The Adamah, the ground. Where's the ground at? In space? Where's that? In orbit? Where's it at? Right here. And you ain't gonna believe it. Where you think you came from? Why you think you subject to do things right here? Why you think these kids get molested and people get raped and robbed and killed? Because everybody from right here. So we have to change our relationship. We find out that all these things that we do that go contrary to him is because of relationships. So now what we have to do is learn a different way of doing things. Y'all got it? We got to, because of relationships, we're subject to do. Let's look at this, all right? How about that? So we talked about it. So let's look at this. So the important thing for me is always for me is to establish how much validity I need to give to something, okay? So for me, this is what I got to look at. Romans 15:4, listen.
For whatever Nigatah before.
That whatever got me right there, that whatever. Whatever. It could be like whatever, or it be Whatever it is, whatever. If I tell you whatever here you find, you can keep. What's off limit? Y'all understand that for real? Whatever you find here, you can keep. What you can't get? Not the camera. You can't get the camera? What about that stand back there? Where the other camera? No, the pews too. Not the lights though. Y'all stop it. Y'all can do all, and the doors? The chairs too? Everything, whatever. Well, you ain't gonna believe it. You're gonna take whatever the word say. He said, whatever it say. See, that just proved that you understand more than what you try to act like you don't. Because y'all, nobody told me, well, I mean, you can't take that. That don't make sense. I said, whatever. So guess what happens when you take the word? You got to take whatever. Whatever was
written.
That's going to make a difference. See, now you'll find the other group of people that use some of the terminology we use, Caucasian by skin complexion. They'll use a book they call the Talmud. Y'all familiar about the Talmud? Y'all heard about the Talmud?
Yes.
Okay, this is not written. These are just oral laws that they gave out there. The Talmud is just oral. They'll go back and put it. They won't find it. They'll try to tell you it stems off from. These are oral commandments that they have. But the problem I got is that say for whatever was
written.
The Talmud wasn't written. The Talmud wasn't written. So there's a lot of different books out here and people go and get them. There's some other books. If I'm going to take what he said, okay? So let's do this. Let's do this again, because y'all are very intelligent people. So whatever is in the room, you can take. We understood that. We understood that. So what about that table out there? Why we can't take that table out there? What about them chairs out there? So if he just told you whatever is written, and you telling me about something ain't written, why are you taking it? I just told you can take whatever's in the room. Why are you trying to take the table? Because what happens once you start a lot of this stuff of, well, this oral stuff that you got, then we start having oral arguments that we can't actually defend. The purpose of giving you something written was because now you have something you can defend. I can't defend somebody's mouth. What Carrie said, they said, well, where Carrie get it from? Carrie said, well, I killed Carrie. Carrie said, I just said, I said, well, Carrie, I can't defend that. But when I take what's written, I can defend it. That was the purpose of giving it to him. Y'all got, now I got something that's legislated. Y'all got it. And a lot of times people say it ain't been legislated. It had been passed. It's not actually a real law for us. It becomes something that people do as a custom. There are things that we do that won't be necessarily written, but you can't override what's written. Y'all got it. We got to stick when it comes to your salvation. There are things we'll do that will stem from it. Y'all got what I'm saying? But you got to stay with the basic first. What's written. Y'all got it? Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm just making sure we understand. So that's the first thing I want to know, that whatever was written, when?
Before.
Was?
Nikatab. Talamadus.
That telling me now, it don't make sense that what's written after this. That means everything before that, ignore it. Because I'm trying to figure out, how does a religion come up with, well, we don't use the Old Testament no more. Because if you telling me whatever was written
before
was written to teach me, that means it was some stuff already structured and put together before I got here. And that's what you need to teach. That needs to be taught. Because it teaches us about somebody we're trying to have a relationship with. You need to know about people that you're having a relationship with. And people have out of figment of imagination, they have created a relationship and they don't even know him. And that's the detriment for, people just in general, we're in a religion. Hey, don't leave it, please don't isolate to it. Even with Yahudim, what we call celebrated is the actual name people call it. This one, celebrated. People just follow order and they don't really know why you following. And it becomes dangerous because for me, I have a rationale for why I don't do and why I do. Versus, preacher said it. You serious? You can't do that. That makes no sense. I'm learning the validity of the word. So the validity of the words allows me to realize when I do something, it validates or it condemns. The word is going to do one or two things. It either going to validate or it's going to condemn a behavior. Either way, for me, it's going to be a benefit. Guess why? Because if I'm doing something right, keep doing it. If I'm doing something wrong, it's going to still be a benefit for me. Because I'm trying to create the relationship. So I need to know what you co-sign to say is okay. And I need to know what you're saying. You don't need to do that. And I make it my business. I want to get in that order. Because once I know how he works and I know how he gives the benefits out, it's just like a job. I got a job, it's got 401k, it's got another profit sharing too, and it's got a pension, and insurance is free in the hospital. Who else want that? Who else want that benefit? But you don't work now. So you don't need to apply. You ain't gonna believe how you don't need to get the relationship. You're gonna have to apply yourself. That's what people tell you sometimes, they tell you to apply. Apply inside. So all these things that you do in your natural life all show that it makes sense what he's trying to get you to do. I can't go get no benefit my best friend, somebody I like. I be like, hey man, you sick, man, my job will give you you use my insurance. You can't use that insurance. Now that y'all a couple or something. You know what I'm saying, man? Y'all mighty close. Used to be a time you couldn't do it. That's a new thing. We might use a different definition now, another example. But before, you need to be a part of the company. Well, that's the same thing we look at now. You need to be a part of it in order to do it with them. You got to be a part of the company. All of the benefit, this is what happens. People want the benefit, but you really hadn't applied yourself for it. You really hadn't put anything into it. You got to be, some company, you got to be vested. That's what we're trying to do. You got to be fully vested. And that's what we got to do when you're talking about becoming a partaker of the Ruach HaKodesh, which is what they call the Holy Ghost. It's a spirit that he gives of separation, okay? It's a spirit of separation, and we understand that from how? Hands. Naturally. How you understand it? Okay, I got a hand back there. What we got, kind sir? Sacrifice it. Tell me about what you're talking about. Come on, don't take that long. I like folk that's honest. No, go ahead and tell us what you were saying though, Finna. There was sacrifices.
Because you had to separate it.
You had to separate. Had to separate it by itself. I'm getting the hall button. What you saying? What you say? Come on, get the other check. Cause I know I said hand, but now you say hand on chin, hand in the air. Second check. I know. Go ahead. What you got out there, huh? Who? He said who? Pharaoh who? The Pharisees. Tell me about it. Separate. Okay, let's separate themselves. Let me rephrase the question. If I didn't say it correctly, because sometimes my mind maybe I'm thinking I'm saying something. The Ruach HaKodesh, what people call the Holy Ghost, okay? They call it the Holy Ghost. That's simply because they're looking at something that came from the dead, because Yahushua rose from the dead. But the actual terminology would be the Ruach HaKodesh, which is the spirit of separation. So now, how this spirit works for us is the same way we'll use it, and they learned it when we talked about the winnowing fan. Remember that? You were told about Yahushua, whose winnowing fan was in his hands. Okay? This is his working. Well, how the winnowing fan works, when you took the wheat and you brought it in, you put the fan, when you throw it, you could take it, and they would take it up, and they would throw it up. Well, the wind would take the shaft and blow it away. So that was the spirit of separation. All that is the wind. The wind took it. What don't belong, it's taken it away. When they throw it up, the wind gonna take it. We'll show them the video. Let them see. I want y'all to understand. See, everything what mess people, this is what people get it. The Holy Ghost. That's it. Well, that's not, I don't know what, you having a seizure. You need a spoon in your mouth. That makes no sense.
That's right.
Because everything he told you, you can verify it. Nobody, I don't know what that is. And chew my tongue up and blood spit out. You need to go to a doctor. How long you been doing that? That's serious. Mad dog, beat him with a pocketbook or with a broom. See, I want to see everything he's telling you. I want you to see this. He's showing you how to do it by hand, because this is important. This said doing it by hand, by step. That's good. That's very good. Y'all see this? This is 1 acre farmland. He's gonna get to it, so you understand how it works. Okay. Y'all see what they're doing now? That's right. Now, hold for a second. Now, you have writing for this, okay? This is actually what you need to know. Now churches, mosques, synagogue, they're not going to teach that because they don't understand it, first of all. See, a lot of things they came into the knowledge of were through what we did, what they call a husband or farmer. Well, guess what a farmer does? This is what a farmer does when we bring the wheat in. He beats it. Well, in the 12th chapter of the book of Abri, what they call Hebrew, the book said, if you be without chastisement, which all are made partaker. He said, then you're a bastard. You ain't gonna believe it. Before a farmer even gets to a point of using the wind of separation, he has to chastise it first. So now, this is my problem. I ain't serving no God putting their hands on me. They're like a slave. In order for this wheat to get to perfection, you ain't gonna believe it. It's gotta be chastened, chastised. Guess what it's gonna take for me to get to perfection? Wow, what make y'all think that is that? What it Holy Ghost. See, everything he wants you to acknowledge is plain, but when you operate from a computer in your job or you drive a truck, a lot of this you won't know. So now, when I have things happen to me, and I say, oh, what in the world going on? This ain't right. It's because I lack knowledge. The husbandman, they call him the husband. The reason why they refer to him as the husbandman, because the man is the person that actually implants the seed in the woman. So the farmer is called the husbandman. Guess why? Because he puts the seeds in the ground. So guess what he does when he gets it up? Just like you rearing a child, you chasing them. But let's see why. Come on, appreciate that, Boston. Look at that. Man, my daddy was crazy. He used to beat me with a stick. Your daddy was a farmer, huh? Look at this. Look what he's using. Look at this. As he pointed, guess what? What's going to be kept is falling in the bucket. Look at that. But guess what the wind do? He's using the fan. Look at that. What you think it's doing? Guess what you just found at Ruach HaKodesh here? It's the spirit of separation. Look when they did it. Why he didn't do that before he beat it? Because at that point it wasn't ready. He had to chastise it to get it ready. I want the Holy Ghost. Just walked in the door. Bill still on my breath. Cigarette. So I said, son, you can't be no drinker. I know the God I serve don't be talking about people. I'm out of here. Makes sense. But this is an order. Let's see where he going with this. Y'all see what he's doing? Now, they got away before they had a fan. They would take it and they would just throw it up. You see that? That's what he's keeping. Guess what this is? Stop. Unto Abraham, and to his. That's what the who. You see what happened? Look what the farmer looking for. Guess what Yahuah looking for? The existing one. He's looking for the seed. So the farmer taking it, uprooting it. Man, why I got to get up and move and go somewhere else? Why I got to be beat and be chasing? Because the man trying to get a seed. He can work with the seed. I can't do nothing with the child. Yeah. So the only reason to correct you and do what I'm doing is to get you, I'm seeking something. The only reason he's done all the work he's done, this is what I seek. Now it's a problem because you saying that the Most High, Elohim, we call him the superior one, you call him God or what we call him, he's seeking something, you don't even know what he's looking for. So now guess what? Misguided. Now doesn't they put a whole different perspective down when you're going through something? Because you saying I want the spirit of separation. Well, okay. You ready? Oh, now. No, not like that now. So, okay. So what did he do to get this? He walked up, you mean kick, oh, you precious little baby. Nobody put no hand on you, sugar. Guess what he had to do? He had to cause it to set back up just a little bit before we got him. Oh, okay. Right, okay. Look what he had to do. Some had to separate. Some had to, guess what Yahushua told you in the 9th chapter of the book of Oriel they call Luke, meaning Yahuchanan. Any east that will come after me. You ain't gonna believe, y'all know where that chaff used to be at? It used to be connected to it. It had to let it go. Wait, that ain't no chaff that came from somewhere else. That chaff used to be connected to the wheat. But guess what it's gonna do in order to get to where it could be where he can receive it? You're gonna have to separate. You have to deny it. Did you see? Watch it when he put the seeds in here. Watch how the seed go back to catch that. Watch it. Watch it. Oh, look here. You finna see it. Look at that. See that? Everybody can't take it. That's why it's getting out of there. Man, I ain't no, man, please. That's crazy. I ain't gonna have no junk like that. In order to get now, watch it. Try to go back and get the shot. Watch it. Watch it get out of hand. Watch. Stop. Oh, look at it. Let it keep. Oh, look at it. Watch it get out of hand and go back and catch that child. Watch it. Now start it back. If finna do it, you stop. Look at it. Watch it. Watch it leave out of here and go to get it. You see it going back to go get it? That's why you have a problem when you start going back, picking up old behavior. Because you're looking at, you see what the seed did? Once he done got to perfection, that's why he tell you this, how it's impossible to renew them again unrepentant. If this seed go back and pick that chaff up, he said, I can't renew it again. I can't do this again. It's impossible. You notice how them seeds stay? It didn't try to let someone like, they had like, and then take off running. No. You know what they look at? Old thing done passed away. All things that became new. And look what it took to get that though. See, think about this. You get taught things, but you visibly can't understand it. You're trying to put something in your mind. You think, Holy Ghost, you see something cold. You're like, man, I don't want that coming to me like that's crazy. That's a monster. I mean, there ain't no monster. Right. So, but let's see what he do with this bastard. Let's see if he throw it away. That's the end of that. Let's see what I should have shown him what he'd take the seed to. Oh, I like that now. So did the seed right here. Y'all see what he's doing now? Y'all see what he's doing with the seed? Look at what he's doing. You see what he's doing? He's grinding it now. Oh yeah, they can see that. That's a purpose why I want y'all to see this. So even after he take the seed, even after he take the seed and he do what he does, it's still a process you're going through. A lot of us feel like that. Once we are separated, we become what we call a child of the Most High. We feel like at that point we're through with the tests and the trials we had to go through to actually get us back to perfection. If you look at when he takes that seed and he's going to take it through the process, after he finishes with it, he's going to take it and he's going to put it into another form and another shape. He's changing that quick. The book said when he get up, you're going to be changed in a moment, in a twinkling of an eye. See, he's going to transform that shape. All these are just putting it where it can train. Like even now, when he set you in a position for the Ruach HaKodesh, for that spirit of separation, you still going to have to be transformed. There's transformation of your thinking, your understanding, and of your operation. And a lot of it hurts us because right here with the blockage, we can mimic the behaviors in the flesh, but we just can't get the thought process down. Because you're trying to keep, I remember in Christian, been growing up Christian, a lot of things they said, you feel it's emotional drive, but just being, you can't put that stuff together in your head. You're just going. And because everybody else going and shaking their head, you have to say, and you know good and well you can't put that process in your mind. What y'all saw here, doesn't it make a difference how you see it? Because a preacher tell me, don't you know the Lord got to beat you, son? And you think, hold on for me, what a man, what is he talking about beating me? It doesn't make sense. Why is he talking about whipping? I'm a grown man. But then you looking at you trying to be received into something. See, when the farmer gets through the husband, he takes this back in his barn where he can put it up. So it can be for his use. That's what Yahuah does for us. He's taking you through all these processes so he can take you back into his malkuth. That's his empire, which is equivalent to a barn. I'm trying to put you somewhere in the store. Something that I want for myself that I'll keep. Even when a farmer plant, they know they're going to keep, they're going to get rid of something. You can buy that. A farmer ain't going to keep everything he grows, isn't it? Something he going to sell, something he take for himself. You know how you got to America? He sold you. He sent your forefather. He told you. He said, I sold you to one of my creditors. I sold you. Why you think a farmer sells some of his crop? He got debt to pay. So the only way for us to understand what he did, he told you. He said, I sold you to one of my creditors. There's some people, he said, I owe them something. You can have that. This I'll keep. Some of it he kept for himself. Well, when it come down to the Malkut, it's only so many out of all the people that he's already devastated, that he's already said that people who saying, I want to be saved, I want to be changed, I want the Ra Shyth, I want to live right, I want to do it. He said, like a farmer, there's no way in the world a farmer going to take everything in that field in the barn. He said, I can't keep all that stuff. And you ain't going to believe it. He had neither. Because he's going to look at that field. Man, you got some farmers, they got stuff far as you can see. And that man got a barn right this size. Now, how much did he plan on keeping? Oh, I belong to him. All that out there, they ain't lying. They do belong to him. But I guarantee they ain't keeping all of it. Isn't that right? He belong to me now. Come the day when they come down to separate, I'm not taking all this in. And you know what he ain't going to take? Nothing that's rotted, soft, mildew, molded. He said, I'm not care. I'll throw that stuff away. Matter of fact, some of you know what they do with that field? Some of them, they get finished, they'll burn the field. They'll burn it, just burn it. It's too much to just burn it. He said, that's what I'm going to do with the rocks when I come back. I'm going to take what I'm going to keep. The rest of it, I'm just going to burn it. Yeah. Tight, ain't it? Let's go back to what we were looking at. Where is if a person got a mind to want to do it? Biggest thing is you got to have a mind with it. So now we understand that for whatever is written,
before was written to Lamadus,
which is Nik Katab, which is was written to Lamed. Lamed is to teach, to show, and to instruct. Now, because I'm a teacher. Go ask a kid what a teacher means. Say, what does it mean as a teacher? They tell them what to do. Okay, bad answer. But the teacher say what they know. What the person tell them to do, I don't know other than definitely what you told me. That means I show you. That means I teach you and I instruct you. I enlighten you and I instruct you. You need order. You need to have an order. That's why you got, see, people don't know. People don't know what a teacher is. And they work at the school. Yep, that's it. You won. All day. And you wonder why they failing, because they don't know what it is. To teach is to instruct, to enlighten. Y'all got it? And to show. That's why they have a board. That's why they take a pen, they'll write. They have books with pictures. People don't even know. I know. This is why we're in a miserable condition when it comes down to Sabbath, because we don't understand the value of. We just use titling, teacher. We don't know what it means, but that's actually somebody who shows, who tells and instructs. You enlighten and you're instructing people in how to do things. That was the purpose of him giving you those teachers, so you can see it, so you can be instructed. So how we did, we use visualization, so you can see it. Then we're going to talk about them and instruct you on how you need to do it. Now you can say you've been lambeded, you've been taught. Y'all got it? So let's see what happens. So let's see what the purpose of that. So that through
endurance,
going through. What is it, my young people? Without giving way, without quitting. See, that's the whole purpose of you being taught. See, a lot of times, what happens, man, I just feel like giving up, man. So you got to start looking at what, possibly? Let's look at the teacher. What were you taught? Because if you get a right visualization, if you get a right instruction, they shouldn't. Because that's what he's just telling you. See, for whatever. That's the end of it. That was written, Nikatar, before. It was only written to teach you. The teacher instruct you and show you. To show you what? So you don't quit. So you got to go back. Everything goes back to the teacher. What do you think they look at a class? Y'all got a class, 49 students, 46 fail. Who you going to look at? Them dumb, stupid students. Come on, don't be crazy. You ain't lying. That's what he's looking at now. He's looking at all the teachers. He said, if people ain't getting it, I got to look at the teachers. If I got me one or two, I said, them knuckleheads sitting there. But I got 46 out of 47. This is clearly an issue. I need to look at this teacher. Coach do the same. They got a team, coaching and losing. What you say? I'm going to start making some trade. They don't win no game. I got to look at this coach. I got to look at this coach. I might make 1 or 2 trades. I'm telling you around, I'm getting rid of this coach. This coach, they know, you finna be gone. Washington coach fired yet? He should have been gone. When I looked at their face, I said, that boy had no business that losing it. He need to be gone. And fire your daddy for going with him too. So look at him. So that I love to encourage kids. I'm real big on caring about kids. So that through going through without quitting, and as a conjunction, and now through the
Nakum.
So the teacher should also tell you about there's a reward. See, this is what a good lineman, a good Ra would do. He would teach you not to quit by showing you, by instructing you, and by giving you the visualization. And at the same time, he's going to give you where you'll get the patience where you don't quit. And then you know there's a reward. There's a reward. And that reward is where?
Ketubim.
The writings. We got to go back to the writing.
We might have tikva.
Tikva is a cord. That's a sign of hope, a rope, something to hold on to. Isn't that right? So all of it makes so much sense when you go back to start to read and look, to try to, let me tell you, I think the hardest thing for a person, especially if you're just self-seeking, is to go on your own and try to study and find your plan to salvation. Because a lot of times you're going to do it with a prejudice. I just want the meat potatoes. I just be honest with you. And you're going to lose out. You need the fundamentals. It is like some kid want to go to college. Let's go ahead and get the elementary principles first. In the book, you got to have the elementary principles. And a lot of times people miss the elementary principles of what you need to know in order to obtain it. Y'all got it? This ain't something you can do in 1 or 2 days. This is something you're going to be on my halak. This is going to be a journey. And on this journey, you need to understand the purpose of your journey. Y'all got it? And you got to have enough. And then, and part of the way, you're going to have what they're going to call faith, that we call amunah, which we're going to look at. You're going to have a confidence about it. It's got to be a confidence. See, when a man start to do it, if he don't have confidence, he going to kind of waver. Y'all remember you're a little kid, somebody might have an uncle, they try to push me over somebody. I don't care. Go on, you be like, because I hear what you say about it. I don't know that person. I had one on your brother. He made me so mad when I hate that joke. He'd pick me and bite my cheek. I don't know why this man, I said to myself, he picked me up by my arm. I said, why does this grown man think I want my cheek in his mouth? And he was doing it like, I'm asking him to do it. I'm like, so the look on my face ain't getting you to say, you probably want to get my cheek out your mouth. So, you know what I'm saying? But he just thought I loved it for some reason. And I think he was probably Chinese. I think they were not too bright. Yeah, brother, not too bright. So this happens sometimes, but people will tend to do things because they will assume. What he did is what we do. We'll assume Elohim, the Supreme One, accepts a lot of things we do, and a lot of things look at, you have absolutely no idea. Okay? Let's look at 6 and 44 right quick. This is Yahuchanan, they're called John. The purpose of the name, Yahuchanan, it means that. What it means? Yahuah is gracious. Yahuchanan, 6 and 44. Now, so if I want to find, just say I'm trying to find where he did something for people. I'm trying to find something where I can see he came in and did something for people, and they were in a situation where they needed it. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't in their favor, but he favored them. Because the average person, let me tell you something, most people you find that go to religion, just first start seeking religion, they trying to find something. And a lot of it is just, I know how it was. It's kind of, I want to be saved. That's what I can tell you. I want to be saved. I did not know what all that entailed, but I wanted to be saved. So I had to learn what did that entail, what the things I had to give up, the things I had to, all the things I was going to have to do. This is going to have to be a practice. I would come to church Sunday, then they said, yeah, we have a Bible study too. I said, what? I said, I got to come Thursday too. I said, well, I want to be saved. So I thought we'd go Sunday. Then they said, we have Sunday school too. I said, I go to Sunday school too. So I go to Sunday school. Then I got Thursday night service. I got Sunday. They said, they have night service too Sunday. I said, so I said, Sunday school, Sunday service, Sunday night service, Thursday night service. I said, but I want to be saved. So you only look at, because I'm trying to fill in what I don't know. I'm trying to get what I don't know. And I learned you can do a lot of these practices and still miss something. Now, certain you learn, there were so many people were going, they were just there. People just going, they weren't there because nothing sparked them to look any further than what they did. Some looked, they were there so long. I mean, why wouldn't I be saved? I've been here that long. I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't commit fornication or adultery. And the reason they didn't do that, they were too old anyway. So a lot of people ain't doing it because the words. That somebody just done took a practice on so long, it's just not there for them. They don't even have a desire for it anymore. So it don't make it necessary you're doing it because of the order. So I can see where you could do a thing for a long time and it looks justifiable in your sight, but not in his. So it's important to see things the way he see it. And first, the way to see it the way he see it, first of all, how you see that situation? It was important, even with the Nabal, who they call the prophet. He would ask them things, he want to know, how you see this? Because it's going to make a difference on the rationalization you use. What do you see? Right quick, give me Amus. They call it Amus. Amus, the word Amus, it means burdensome. So that man here looked at, so when you look in a book, it called burdensome. What am I looking for? I'm looking for a man got a lot of troubles. Man got a lot of trouble. You see somebody, you say, man, you got a lot going on. Isn't that right? Yep. You see him, just his name told you that. The man named burdensome. Y'all got it. So everything to him, he looked at, when he was given that name, he should already knew what kind of life he was gonna have. See, this is what people look at now. This is what how folks, like people are going to take the name Christ, you know, say, I'm Christian. What the thing when you take certain terminologies, let's go with it. Christian, or whatever, take it, comes from the word of Christ. It comes from the Greek word Christos. It means to rub with oil. It means nothing what you think. It means to rub with oil. It's Greek. The word for us we use is Mashiach. The Mashiach is the word, which is for us, he's the anointed. So you got to remember, when other people came into contact with the Yahudim, people named things after their language. They look, I don't speak your language. For me, this is what I call it. But the problem is when you look at the word Christ, Christ just means to rub the oil. That's why you'll find Greeks don't use the terminology like that, because it just means to rub with oil. It means nothing of what you're saying. It means to rub. For us, when you Mashiach something, you anointed it. There was a purpose behind it being anointed. Y'all got it? Like Daud, who they called David, when he came in, he Mashiached him. He told the porter he took the horn of oil to anoint him. Mashiach is what they did. They Mashiached him. Y'all got it? Yes, so when people say they Christ-like, let's go with the name meaning the same thing it just said in Greek. So based off of what the Mashiach suffered, we knew him for suffering. So how do I use this and use the terminology? Look like all hell done broke out since I've been serving. Didn't you say that you were a Christian? That you were Christ-like? What goes with that titling? Because people don't know, they just throw things out their mouth and do it. Versus if you knew the dynamics of the name. Like him, his name is burdensome. Why am I looking at the man be having, man, I just be partying and going. That don't even fit your name. That don't fit his name. Your name burdensome. So guess what I'm looking for when I deal with this man? That's a lot on you. This man got a lot on him. Let me see what verse 1, let me see what 5 and 1 say right quick. I think I call 8 and 1. Mm-hmm. Let me see what 1 and 1 say in the same book since we're down. I'm just curious what it say. This is 8 and 1. Let me say.
8 and 1 or 1 and 1?
It's not a what?
You said 8 and 1 or 1 and 1?
1 and 1.
Yes, sir.
There is an 8 and 1 too, huh?
Yes.
Come on, get that check right quick. I'm having a lot of problems. I apologize. There's a lot of problem going on. I try to get one too. Come on, big man. My brother called. You know my brother told me, y'all both of them tried to fight me. Who all of him? Who trying to be saved? Y'all seen them trying to fight me. That's all I'm saying. It was two against one. Y'all seen it. You know, you get to know, because it's just something about the way you did it. You know what I'm saying? I be that man Pappy. I said, that time. He be that boy Pappy. Yeah.
I don't want no problem.
You know, that thing hurt me. No, I did. Go ahead. So this is 1 and 1. I'm just curious what 1 and 1 say.
Yes, sir.
What it say?
The Dabarim of Amus, who was among the sheep herders from Tekoa, which he saw concerning Yasharal, the Yamin of Uzziah, Malak of Yehuda,
which is the king of Judah. They'll call it Judah. Yehuda is the actual name. In the days of
Jeroboam, being of Joaz, Malak of Yasharal, to Shanim before the earthquake.
You hear that? What happened? He got there before the earthquake. So that earthquake came in. That man had a whole lot of problem going on. That man had a whole lot of burden. He was a sheep keeper. He was dealing with sheep. He made sure. You know where his burden came from? People. You ain't gonna believe where Yahushua came from. Came from people. See, all of the names, when you go through, why it's important to learn what their names are and what they went through, because when you found Yahushua, which it means is Yahuah's salvation, he actually emulated every one of these names. So when they saw him, they would know, you remind me of somebody. It's somebody you remind me of, because he had a lot of burdens on him. So when he had the cross on his back and he had to go up there, you ain't gonna believe it. Amus. Burdensome. When the people brought things against him, EU, they called Job, that name means persecuted. That's what he said. I'm persecuted. Now he didn't need the name. Guess what we learned? See, you learn from watching. He never carried the name. He just did the behavior of the name. You learn those people by their names. That's why EU lost all that stuff. That's why people talk, Job, first of all, Job is job. Nobody says apply today for a Job. The man's name is EU. His name means persecuted. That's why all of the things happen against him. So when you saw Yahushua, when you saw the things happen against him, you say, guess what? He's persecuted. You would say Eub. When you saw the burdens he carried, you would say Amus. Now let's see what he saw 2 years before the earthquake, 8 and 1. Listen.
Thus my Adon Yahuah showed me.
He said this is what the Adon showed him, which is the word for master, the Adon. Listen.
And behold, there was a basket of summer pari.
See what he told him? He said that was a basket of summer fruit. Kayits. Kayits is the name for summer fruits. And what happened?
He said, what do you see? A moose.
See, that's what he wanted to know. He told you what it was. Now he asking the man, what do you see? What did he see in the window?
And I said, a basket of kayits.
He said, I see kayits. I see summer fruit. What did he tell him?
Then Yahuah said to me,
what did he say?
The end has come for my arm, Yasharal.
You don't think there was a problem? He finna go and tell Yasharal this? You finna go tell all these people, y'all done. Your time up. That was a burn. How you gonna go back and tell them people, y'all time up? The man said, it's the end for you. He showed me summer fruit. Summer fruit means that's it. That's the last time he gathering. Listen what he told them.
I shall not again pass by them anymore.
See, you know what a farmer do sometimes? See, he'll go through his field. Sometimes he'll look. He ain't ready to pick yet. But he know when they getting time toward the winter, when the winter get ready, I got to call it in. I got to get everything. I got to pick it because it's time now. I got to get it. And he had been walking through and they looked like, you ain't did nothing to us. Man, we got time. We good. Ain't nothing happened to us. We good. And he let them know, go and let the people know the end. And you know what this was? This was actually letting the people know what was happening to him. Because he showed them this. This was before it was happening. So he was giving them opportunity. When he came and told them, the end is near. What you think they were going to have to do? They were going to need to get, you ain't going to believe it. Guess when you go and pick fruit? When it's ripe,
yeah,
it was time to get ripe.
Right.
Because he's not passing by again. Yeah. We'll just say get ripe. Y'all understand that? But he wanted to make sure first, the man that I'm sending to him, what you see? He said, man, I just see a bunch of dirt and some seeds. He said, well, I know not to use you. You ain't got enough, you can't see. So if you can't see, how you gonna show the people? If you don't understand that, how the people gonna understand? This has been the problem. We've had instructors and teachers trying to educate people who hadn't even understood what they're doing. And people just say, well, you know, it ain't meant to understand, you just do it. How much sense that made? When he just asked that man, what did he see? That man said, I don't know, Lord. You move in mysterious way. Boy, don't you be stupid. What is this? This is ingathering. And you call it ingathering because to that, this is in, and I'm getting ready to bring it in. Listen, it's time to come on home. It's like you gotta run out there. Come on home. Come on. Hey, where you go? Cut this. Put jets on them shoes.
That's right.
Come on home. That's all I'm gonna let her know. It's time to come on home. So this hurts us as people, not people, called people in general, in all the religion, because when people get set on their objectives, they tend to forget the purpose of the word. It's not about the preacher. It's not about his finance, or building cathedrals, a life center. The life comes in from the word. People need to get the true validity of the word, understanding. Understanding gives us what? The ability. See why I understand? People say, get understanding. All you'll get understand. What that mean? Understand? So that's what we play in a word game. Because you don't know. When you get deeper behind words and meaning and sources of word, it makes a difference when you can comply with a behavior. You can't comply with a behavior and don't know what you said.
That's right.
This is the same thing happened when they built the Tower of Babel.
That's right.
When they didn't understand what they were saying, how far did they get?
They had to stop.
Because they didn't understand. They lacked them. You know, he showed them, you can no more build that because you don't have the understanding. I don't have the ability to know what you're saying. So guess what happened? They left it. Why y'all think people walk off from religion? Islam, Christianity, Judaism, Buddhism, Hinduism, and Israelism.
That's right.
You know, all of the Israelism, all of the ism. Because people get to a point they realize, I can't do this stuff. I don't know what I'm doing. You just burning incense and flour and tapping tambourines and stomping and beating drums and keyboard, and people don't even have any idea why they're doing what they're doing. People don't have any idea why. Because it's just, this is what we're supposed to do. How about let's stop guessing, let's just find out. How long how many of y'all have been guessing for years? How has that worked out for you? You know what? Go into the average church, tell the people, say, stand up right now if you don't understand what you're doing. You know them folks gonna start looking to see who stand up first? And you know what happens? Say somebody stand up, I'm not gonna look like no fool. Yeah, the pressure. Till enough people stand up, they realize, I guess I'll go on and stamp and admit, I don't have any idea what I'm doing. And it hurts us because there are people sitting on deacon board, sitting on mother, and they people don't have a clue what's going on. They're just doing something. And people say, well, that's mother, old deep. And nobody knows what they're doing. We just been holding the position. Like I said, I've been holding the position. That's all you've been doing. And said, you need to go ahead and drop it. Mm-hmm. Because we become ineffective when people are not getting results. The power of the word comes in being able to discipline oneself. It's just like a martial art. It's a discipline. The word martial, y'all heard the term now, martial art. It's being able to be superior over your opponent. People say, martial art, what is it? I guess you like under a sheriff? Okay, that's what you want to go with. And you can draw. That's a sheriff that can draw. Well, now, listen, this good stuff. Hold on, we have a one seat little Princey got it. But she gonna screw it up so it back up for auction. So now what we're doing, now we're trying to look at how we've done things. It's being able to rule over your opponent. It's not just, they teach that most time people get into it, they don't really understand. It's a discipline. It's a discipline. Learn how to use an opponent, using their own stuff against them, and learn how to just defend over a person. You can do the same thing in conversation. People just hear the word, but they actually teach you how to rule over your opponent. Most people say, I'm tired of getting beat up. Well, you need to take martial arts. I need to learn how to kick. No. It's not that. It's learning how to rule over your opponent. Learn how to be superior. That's all it is. Well, guess what happened? That's what you're learning now. Guess who your opponent is? Satan. Who you think got you sitting up ready now? Who got you set up for destruction? And the reason why, because you don't know how to marshal over him. In the book of Yahuah, they call James. He said, if you resist Satan,
flee.
How you been doing that? You break down because you don't know how to marshal over, which means you got to learn how to rule over your opponent. Well, that's what we're learning from the word, how to win over. And one thing we'll find, how you think he gets you? He gets you because, guess what? He know where you come from. You come from him. And because you come from him, guess what you're subject to? You know I'm subject to? A Martian, 909. How can I be subject to the Martians? Why not? I'm not from Mars. I'm not from space. I'm from here. The things that's going to embattle me, I'm going to deal with, going to be right here. So I have to learn a discipline to how to overcome it. Y'all got it? This is the thing. This is the same thing. So there is an order. It's being able to become superior over your opponent. That's why he was giving us the teacher to teach you how to beat your opponent and be effective with verses. Loose here, devil. First part he got, I don't know what the devil is. That's a word that just meant, it's not, his name is Satan. He don't know what you're talking about. So a lot of stuff we say, and we ain't gonna just deal with the name. We're gonna deal with, first of all, that's not gonna work. We're gonna resist him by behavior, okay? That's how you're gonna resist. You're gonna resist him by behavior, okay? First thing on March night, they don't tell you first thing, punch your head at me. Just punch your head at me. Come and step on. Come on, just come sign. You like you just walk up with me. You just walk up with me. First thing is to try to, first of all, I want to just first try to get my opponent first. Let's agree on, let's not do this. First thing they do, that's what you just start chopping a nigga. No, first thing, first of all, I want to give him the option of, let's avoid this to turn away. Not me, I'm just trying to kill me a nigga. I just want to be done. And that become the problem. Because sometimes you'll invite yourself to a fight, you'll wind up, you get yourself killed in it. That's why they try to teach you something, because you don't know what another person knows. So a lot of time, This is what we got first round, is learning first by present ourselves in a way to where we try to avoid it altogether. Y'all got what I'm saying? That's the first thing when it comes down to trying to avoid a situation. That's why even though he talking about now certain things where you wrote unto me is good for a man. What you supposed to do? Touch. What happened? He got in the fornication, he had to do touching first, correct? Mm-hmm. So get what he tried to give you as your first defense of martial art.
Don't touch.
Don't touch her. Don't touch her. See, this is we're trying to avoid. Let's avoid this altogether. Let's give the opportunity to go away. Versus I engaged, now I found myself in trouble.
That's right.
So the book is teaching you a form of martial arts. How to defend and rule over your opponent. Guess who one of your biggest opponents you need to buy? When I was trying to chop John, I was really trying to chop myself. Because I'm the biggest person that's an opposer. Because of the flesh, I'm going to be an opposer of the word. Everything the word asks me to do, that's not something the flesh is subject to. My flesh is subject to fornication is right up the alley. Adultery of drinking, smoking, using man, this ain't that I said, oh, how I do that? Somebody, I need a book. I don't need no book to do that. That's the flesh. This is something I know how to do this. So now I got to learn how to discipline the flesh. How do I bring the flesh into subjection? So the flesh has to learn an order. And it's got to be attached to something. Got to be attached to death. As much as I would love to fornicate, commit adultery, smoking, drinking, all that, I'm just naming stuff. Now I really would. Guess what? I love to live. Right. So that gives me some strength. That makes it priority to make sure I overcome it. And now in martial art, they would tell you to do a certain to what, and I also had to give you the opportunity, even after I'd done it, to go away. Now, when you try and break behaviors, I can't do that. Behaviors, you got to put them down. You can't let them live. Because these things are real back up. Some opponent, you got to know, you can't let them back up. You can't let them back. If it's a behavior that contradicts the Torah, which are instruction, direction, you're going to need to kill it. Because it's going to come back. It's going to reel back up. So you got to know what kill and what you can let go. Y'all got what I'm saying? Okay. I'm just making sure we're on the same page. So let's go back right quick to the 4th chapter. 6. I'm trying to get y'all 6 and 44. 6 and 44, Yahuchanan. Oh, y'all learn anything, though? That's the important thing. You can use a whole lot of words and terminology. If you're not effective on people and you getting results, you can't use it. It's got to be, listen, you got to be able to use it in your everyday walk. There's some stuff you can teach you, I can't use it. Like, how you catch a, let me tell you something. How many of y'all interested in learning something new? How many of y'all want to learn how to catch a gnat in your pinky fingernail? What's wrong? I mean, it's something you'll just have. That's what I'm saying. You don't want to learn everything. Some stuff, I do that. It's be done. And go and wash them hands. I ain't got time to be trying. Some stuff is cute, but I'm not interested in it. So this is 6 and 44. Yahuchanan. Remember now, the book term, the name is Yahuchanan, which means Yahuah, which is in it, is gracious. Now, guess what I'm looking for when I look in there? I'm looking for some con. I'm looking for favor. See, last time we looking for stuff, folks. I remember I was looking at it, I said, man, find something I can just read. But what's your problem? They got medical encyclopedias. I got a cold, I'm gonna flip it there and read about sprained ankles. What are they gonna do with the cold? And the congestion in my chest, the sprained ankle. What about how to put your arm in a homemade sling? But you're in a book. The book is effective, but you don't know how to properly use it. And that's what happened with religion and with people taking about. They're not effective with it. So you know what? It's just a book what you do is wait on somebody, your drunk uncle, to come and kick the car, knock their leg off, take that book and stick it on there and the Bible on the other end and leave it set, or the Quran, or whatever the book is, because you're not effective with it. Because you don't know how to use it. Y'all got it? Our goal is become effective. So he said, this is what he told us. No one
is able to come
to me does not have the ability. So first of all, this is the problem right here. I want to come to him. Once I hear he said no man can do it, I said, well, at least try to do that. Well, I got questions of why. Why a man can't come. He just want me to know that off the rip. That's the first thing he told him. He said, no man can't come to me. That's the first thing. I'm a man. So where they put me at? Walk off. Don't do it. He said, no man can't do it. Why keep going? It's stupid. Leave it alone. But what happened?
Unless I be.
See, I need to know that. Unless. Now I'm a man. Now, this opens some resolve for me. Unless. Now I need to hear what's the less.
Unless I be who shalak me draws him.
Except the one that sent me attracts him. Y'all see that? My whole purpose now, I realize, give us something. Folks just thinking, I came to Jesus as I was, weary, wounded, and sad. He said, no. He said, no man can't come to me. He said, unless I draw him. Now, he can use that sadness. He can use a wound or do these different things to attract you, but you need to understand how you got there. Come on, you ain't never been nowhere somewhere, and you wonder how you got there. Been to sleep and wake up and you somewhere, somebody riding a car. You said, how we got him? See, you know, he said, I want you to know how you got him. He said, no man can't do it. He said, unless I draw him. I got to attract him. I have to entice that man to get him there. And tell him what happened.
And I shall coom him on the last June.
He said, then I'm going to get him up on the last day. He said, all of us in here, I mean, if you're human, I deal with thinking about dying. That's a reality. People say, I don't try to think about negative stuff. Okay, let's play stupid. It's not negative. That's a part of life. You got to die. Much as you don't want to think about it, it's going to happen. You think you don't die if you don't think about it? We got to die. So I need to make some preparation while I'm here. Get insurance, buy a policy, stick it somewhere, and then don't worry about dying. You're going to still die. And then you ain't talking about what the policy at. So now we're looking at the purpose, and now we got to look at this policy. That you can't come unless he attracts you. So now we look at the things that we might hate about ourselves, things that happen in our life, and count us to say, I need to do something different. I just ain't feeling right. I just feel like I need to make some changes. Now I understand all that I battled with was him attracting me. He used what I thought was a positive, what was my life, but was a negative, and he used it in a positive way to attract me. He said, I used that. That stuff that you love to do, that you begin to start like, it ain't selling right, it ain't sitting right with you no more. It's like you tired of the same old thing. That's how I got you here. I didn't know how I got here. How did I get here? He said, well, no man can do it. Well, one day I just got up, I said, you know what? I decided to make Jesus my choice. Give me a hand clap. That's what I did. Stop. He said, no, you didn't. He said, no man can come to me. Think about this. This kills a lot of people out in their endeavor to obtain the Ruach HaKodesh of him. I don't feel like I'm going to be saved. Did you know you couldn't even come here unless he attracted you? But think about this. Why you think you have a fight about whether or not you're going to make it, whether you're going to see it? Because you don't even know how you got here. Somebody invited me. I just came. I popped up. I don't know. Really, I don't know. You do know. Once you get the understanding, you learn about it. I attracted you. I enticed you. That's how I got you here. That's how I got you here. And you need to know that. So now that gives me a little more vigor in my endeavor to try to obtain. But if I think, I'll be honest with you, I couldn't even tell you. You needed to know this, that no man can come to him except. This is the owner, this is the stipulate, this is it. This has to happen in order for you to come. You can't get it unless, listen.
It is not katab in the Nab. Is it not katab in the Nabaim?
He's asking you a question. Is it not written in the Nabaim?
And all your benim shall be taught by Yahuah.
Now, is he going to literally sit down and educate you? No. He's going to use a man. He's going to make it a man, and he's going to make sure he got the same sight that he sees. A man, he's going to feel like he has the same judgment that he'll make concerning the situation. Because you need to know this. You need to know how you got here. You need to know how things happen, how things interact, how things engage. And a lot of times we don't, and it hurts us in life. In life, you can accomplish a lot of things and still be empty here. The hardest part for a person is dealing with themselves. People don't believe it. If you want to really know the deep, innermost parts of a person, how shallow, how deep a person is, deal with them on them. That's when they get a lot. You can ask people questions and science questions and mathematical questions, equations and all kind of philosophy, and then get to dealing with them and see how far you get. Because people shout, that's scary. I don't want to know I'm a burn. That's how we work. You know what I tell people out the rip? You're going to burn. I want you to know your worst case scenario. This your worst case scenario. So what you got to lose with doing right? What you gonna lose with doing right? I can either be saved or I can just keep living and keep going and still be happy. There's no reason for me to be attracted to one. But when you start to deal with the individual, you start to deal with something that's a lot more deep, and people find out just how shallow they are and how significant things really are. They don't want to deal with that. People make a reality out of things that are really insignificant, things that really don't have real value. Here's what sit down and say, let me ask you a question. So where you going when you die? Well, don't nobody know. Say, stop. We do know when you die. You're going to that morgue, you're going to that funeral home, then you're going to that water, you're going to that ground. Then after that. I don't like to think about stuff. I don't like to talk about stuff like that because we're shallow people. And we'll live our lives based off of, we don't want to know. We got that ostrich syndrome, stick my head in the ground. I don't want to deal, I don't want to talk about it. I want to, happy thoughts. Bryce went to court one time with happy thoughts. Somebody told him that. They told him, when you said something, the judge called your name, think happy thoughts. I'm going to die across that desk. I said, what you say? He said, just think happy thoughts. I said, you said, you good? Who told you some bullshit like that? You can't do no stuff. But think about this. The person told him based off of how people live their lives. See, if you think positive, you think everybody out here killed with thinking negative? Are you serious? A newborn baby thinking negative? But you say, people will tell themselves things to escape reality. That's the scary. Yep. Listen, over probably 80% of people in the world, they live their life based off of things that are fictional. I'm just telling you, a preacher say something, and they don't say that, they cut it off, flip for somebody else. My God won't talk. Because nobody want to deal with you can't do, you shouldn't do, this is wrong, you're going to burn. I don't want to hear no stuff like that. I don't want to hear it. People tell me, I don't watch the news. Why? Too much bad stuff happen on the news. I didn't know about it. That don't move me. I didn't know what's going on. But it's people say, man, I don't watch that stuff. That stuff, because they start to live them lives as almost like a mirage, a figment of imagination that I just believe if I don't think negative, if I don't listen to negative stuff, that nothing negative gonna happen. You can't be stupid like that. It's life. The genuine part of life is what it gives you. Just like you might see a person that might die, or whatever happened. It's unfortunate, tragic, but you know what it make you do? It make you appreciate yours. You say, so let's be honest, what would make you appreciate life if nobody died, everybody lived? Just honestly. If bad things happen in life, when you see a bad wreck, I remember one time I was driving, I seen that lady flipped on this car, and I seen her head move, and her head did, it flipped, I said, oh my God, I said, she dead. I guarantee I did that trick, and I just kept going. I said, yep, it was bad. I said, listen, me and them Gil got changed, you know I did. I said, thank you. But had I not seen her tragic situation, because you ain't believe it, I was complaining the whole time. Folks were holding, I was so mad. I said, these stupid people, stupid drama, blowing that horn. When I seen that lady dead, man, that car, I seen that head move like that thing, I said, oh my goodness. And I realized, had I been on time, your behind would have, listen, that whole truck, I was crying that truck. That thing, thank you. Thank you. I said, but it took somebody else for me to see that. That's the thing about life. Life is best lived. Life is best lived. Y'all got it? But you need to know the source and why. So I've come to understand when things happen, learn to accept the order. What I can change, I will change. But then there's an order of things that you run, there has to be an order of acceptance. You know, it's a man you can accept like her. I didn't try to go make that lady back alive. I did not get out of my truck and try to jump over there. She was dead. That wasn't my job. I was on a whole nother side straightway, but I'm looking. Nothing said, jump out the truck, go there and try to bring her back to life. This is an order he set. And there's some orders you don't change. You just cannot change. That's outside your ability or capability. And you learn to accept it. So I try to live my life now. What do I change or what do I accept? What do I change or what do I accept? Because there's a balance there. There's a balance there. And you know, Yahushua, he went around healing people. He didn't heal everybody. Because there's an order. Some things people just got to learn to accept. That is, and you know what else? We kind of learn to accept things that, I'm going to accept a bad way of life and don't change it. These are things I need to change. When it comes down to the correction from him, because I understand him and I have the relationship with him, I learn to accept it. Even in the, I think in the book of Philippians, Shaul, who they call Apostle Paul, he said that he learned that in whatsoever state he in to be content. He said, I learned how to be hungry and I learned how to be full. He said, I learned how to be abased. Look, he said, I learned how to be exalted. He said, in whatever state he in, he said, I learned to be content. Because he learned there was an order. And when there's an order, you learn sometimes when an order needs to be broken, that you don't have to sit in this state anymore. And you learn when this is a learning curve for me. I'm here for me. He needs me to learn from this. But there's an acceptance, because sometimes people won't know. You'll sit in places you need to break. Y'all got it? And you'll take off when you need to set. So it's so important to keep that listening ear with intelligence. Shama is different than just listening. Shama is to listen intelligently. Listening intelligent makes me go so I can process. So I know when I see an order, it say, you need to break that. You need to break it. Then I didn't know he tell you need to set. You need to accept this one. Accept this one. Because sometimes you don't realize, you're like, Chris, you filed the phone last night, didn't you?
Yes, sir.
Terrible. Somebody gave some good kudos, didn't it? You remember that? I'm gonna need that check, Lee. It ain't me and my brother. Leave it now. Lee said, I said, remember Lee? They said, yes, ma'am. Why you get 2 checks? Go ahead, Lee. That's tight. Go ahead, Lee. I know you. When he was talking about how Chris gave him strength, when that happened.
Yes, sir. That was a good one.
That was a good. You missed a good one. You missed a good one. It wasn't for you though. It wasn't for. Oh yeah, you. He shot me. He said some stuff about. Yeah. You need to be on the last.
He told me before.
Come on, get a check. Come. My brother Jack called. Come. My brother, you know what happened? You can know too much. Then put that check up.
Yes, sir.
Woo, boy, you get in trouble. I want to apologize for this man's behavior. Yeah, but saying it's the fact that, and I had to learn that. When you're going through something, this is what people don't realize. You have to stop. This is where it is selfish. We live our lives to ourselves. You go through things, it's not for you. It's really not. It's for you learning, but while you're learning, other people are observing. And they're observing, and some people are gathering things from you. Y'all got it. They're gathering from you, and they're building themselves from them. And that's how we all feed from each other. A lot of times, that's why I learned. Why y'all think a lot of y'all here? How many times y'all see me fall out and faint? How many y'all say I throw up my hands, I quit and give up? How many times y'all heard me say I don't know what I'm going to do? You think that was for me? That was somebody else. When they get and they're going through, they say, preacher standing. Sometimes you don't know why he'll put you in a situation. That's why you can't just think that people can't observe you. People don't have to talk and come and say, I'm watching you, so everything. You know, some people never say nothing. Let's say from afar and just. And then a situation happened and said, I appreciate such and such. I watched that Aku, that sister, or that Aki. And I was going through a situation and watching them, seeing them, it really baroque up my soul. And they thinking things like, I didn't know I was being watched. I didn't know somebody was paying, because your life ain't for you. We're actually interdependent, not independent. We mean we feed off of each other. You're interdependent. Stop being independent. Sometimes your independence will kill you. And that put independence you separated from. We're interdependent, okay? And being that, we feed off of each other, just like your body does. That's how, listen, your body take and break down food. It don't send all the protein to your big toe. No, that stuff got to go all over your body. It's not got to go to your brain. It's got to go in different places. It's got to be distributed, dispersed. Well, that's how he worked. He put us in place, because what we do, it's got to be dispersed. Other people got to be able to feed from it too. We're a body. And a lot of times you'll look to yourself. Y'all so selfish. You selfish people. He give you stuff that ain't for you. I get stuff, and y'all help prove that to me. I got stuff, I said, that definitely wasn't mine, because it's sure gone. If it was mine, I'd have still had it. But you know, everything not for you. It's for other people, and you realize that. Come on, man. He put a tree out there, ox. That's what it's called, ox. He put a tree out there. You ain't gonna believe it. A squirrel gonna climb it? Huh? A woodpecker gonna put a hole and live in it? Other animal might come on, somebody might come picnic and lay up on it and have a picnic. That tree said, what the world are they? He said, you ain't gonna believe it. I didn't put you here for you. I put you here for all of them. It's gonna be insects that gonna crawl up and use them. Man, look at all these ants on this tree. He said, that's why I put it here. And you gonna go spray and kill everything on it. He said, a lot of stuff you start understanding, or you stop doing stuff. Leave stuff alone. I was at one of my properties, and it was a little field mouse. I seen that joke, I put that song, I got it, I hit it, I said, leave that thing alone. I said, that mouse ain't did nothing, no, but that thing outside where he supposed to be. He was in the house somewhere, I'd have killed him. I said, yeah, outside. But the order told her, kill it. Everybody kill it. Why? What is it? It's outside. It ain't in your house. This is how far we go. You overextend yourself. They eat waste. They eat other bugs. A lot of times you got to start learning to order things. They really not like, I remember years ago, this white guy taught me that. I used to buy some stuff from him, some vegetables. He was a white, he was a Zeke, and he loved to farm. He was an old country guy. And he had corn and stuff. His eggs be so pretty, you don't even want to eat, just want to look at it so pretty. And I asked him, I said, what kind of pesticides you use? He said, pesticide? He said, I don't even know pesticides. I said, what you use to kill the ants? He said, kill the ants? He said, man, those God's tillers. I was like, he said, they dig down in the ground. He said, I don't kill them. He said, you plant enough where they eat anyway. I said, this was years ago. I was like, I never thought about it. I looked at, man, kill them bugs. Don't have that stuff. When he had you to grow, ain't no farm, ain't no man in the world gonna eat all that stuff he grow. How they can't have that too? It's not for you. I let you get your portion. They gotta eat too. Even when we planted, he told you the outside of your fields, he told you don't glean them. Right. He said they for the stranger. Right. When a stranger passing through, that's when they on the ride. When Yahushua went through, they told he plucked corn. He didn't pluck, he plucked wheat. And guess where he would have been? On the outside. He couldn't walk through, he had to be on the outside. The Torah made provision for a person on the outside. Think about this. Man hungry, and I got here and I don't let him in. I got this barbed wire. Now he gonna cut my barbed wire to get it. He ain't gonna be in here, so he ain't got no business. Leave him where he can get so you be done. Y'all don't know that stores do it to you. Go to them store, they leave that jewelry. It's called costume jewelry. I'm trying to keep you from stealing stuff that's worth money. I already know you stupid. That's why I put up here. I don't need you over here and bust that glass. They know your coon behind, laying on here, bow, them bust the glass. Put the costume in here, look weird, let you around here, somebody bust your head when you sell it to them. That's all it is. Leave it for the thief. That's why but it's a science. You keep them out of your field. You got it? So there's an order. Now that stop some of y'all from all that spraying out here, killing stuff ain't bothering. When they come in bothering you, kill it. Because now we tell you out of order. You ain't had no business in here now. You should have read the book I read. My book said you're supposed to be outside, not inside. Y'all got it. So we know that. So it's written in the Naba'im, and all your children shall be taught by Yahuah. Thus, all who has heard from the Abba, the Father, and
Lamed
shall
come to me.
So now, when you're trying to seek him, now you got to start looking at things. What's hindering you? Think about that. Now all you got to do, he has to attract you. You got to come in, and you got to be taught. And then guess what happened? When you do all that, and you heard from the Father, and then when you learn, you can't just hear it. You got to learn. You got to learn it now. Then you can come to me. Let's look at something. Say that 537 right quick. Same book, Yahuchanan. See, y'all don't. What's the name of the book? Yahuchanan. What that mean? Well, I'm sure how he gracious. First thing he told you off the rip was what? Could do what? So that just counted you out. Why you him if a man can't come? That just shot you in the foot. Then why you him? But ain't no man can come. So to show you to come ain't great. Unless I draw you. Something happened in your life to get you to come here. Come on in. See, that's the con. See, you missed it then. That was con. First, I just told you nobody can't do it. So that just exempts you, didn't it? Well, then I said, unless I attract you. So you was attracted. See, that's con. I did you a favor. Y'all missed that. Don't worry about it. Let's say 537. Listen to that.
The Abba who shalak me,
The Father who sent me.
he has testified of me.
Listen what he said. He said the one that has sent me.
He has testified of
He has testified of me. Now, what he did was he told Musha, Moses they'll call him. Musha told you in, I think, the 18th chapter book of Allah Hadabarim, you call it Deuteronomy. And these are the words, 18 about 18. He said that Yahuah was going to raise up a Nabal. He said he going to be like me. And he told you that him you're going to hear. And it's going to be that everybody that don't hear him, he said he's going to smite you off the face of the rise. He going to listen, he like a plate, I'm just going to wipe you off the planet. Because he's going to set his Malkuth up here. I know these folks say they're going to go live up there. They can't find no book to prove it. I got a book to tell you, he said it's going to come down. He's going to set his Malkuth up down here. That's why he's going to destroy that place. They don't like, you know why you use fire too? For purifying. Okay, let's do this. How many of y'all ever had splint in your finger? Oh, how many of y'all use tweezers? How many of y'all so country you took a pen and burned it? Now, let me ask you a question. Why you just didn't use that naked pen?
Purified.
Because it has a contamination. Am I correct? You can get an infection. So you burn that pen. Why? So what's the purpose of why he going to burn the earth? Oh, because he can't use it. It's not clean. It's got infections. See, how hard is it for you to process? That thing he tells you is hard. It's all about if you want to know. See, you know what people say? That's stupid. I know, baby. Most of them don't wash their grill. They heat it up and then wipe it off and start cooking.
Yep.
Because you said, you ain't gonna clean that grill. Yes, I did clean it. I started the fire. Because they know fire is also used to purify as well as destroy. He's gonna destroy the arise at the same time. Guess what he's gonna be doing? I'm going to purify it. Come on, people. They do it with gold. So the Abba, Father, who sent me, Shalak, has testified to me. You have never...
Shama, his call.
See, you never heard his sound or...
have not seen his form.
And you've never seen his form. Let's see what he told you.
His Dabarim,
his word,
does not reside within you.
See, it don't stay in you.
Because you do not aman in the one he shalom.
See, that's why he said don't stay with you. Because you won't stay with the order. The order is, I don't talk to you, I send the son to talk to you. Don't come to me, go to the son. That's the order. Now, I mean, I just gone to the Father. He said, I know, but that's not what I told you to do. And I send you straight back to the son. That's the order. Don't tell about that you're going to have to go and see the son. The son is who you got to go and see, but you go to the Father. He said, you shouldn't come to me, you should go to him. Go to him. That's why I set up. That's why I shalak. That's why I sent. You go to him. He told you never seen him. You know, and it came down to something. This is amazing. Let's do this. How about this? Let's do a little work. 41:33. That's Ra Shyth they call Genesis. Let's see how that work out. Y'all with me? Let's see something. 41, thinking 33 is what I want. They call Ra Shyth. The name means in the beginning or in the height or existence. Is the thing they say. In the start. 41, I think I want. 41. Let's see. 33. Let's see. Let's see that. Listen.
Now let Pharaoh look for an Ish, discerning and Kakma.
Wise. Y'all said he want to look for a man that had a skill. Wise means he has a skill. And what you want to do with him?
And set him over the Arats of Mizraim.
This is what Pharaoh did. When he found out there was going to be a famine that was going to come and they were going to destroy the land, they were going to get 14 years. They were going to get 7 years where they're going to get famine. Can we back it up a little bit? Let's see. I can provide a system. Let's see how that works. We out here, ain't we?
Out here.
Let's see. I need notes, cue cards. Kick them up right quick. Where's my napkin? Just checking. Josh said he figured me out. He said, you had that handkerchief set. That's where the notes at. Everybody looking somewhere, it's on the handkerchief. We ain't gotta go there. Okay, let's go. Listen to this now. Now it happened.
At the end of 2 Shanim,
2 years.
of Yamim that Pharaoh was dreaming, and behold,
He had a
Cologne.
cologne for a dream. And behold,
he was standing by the Nile Nahar.
see that? Come on.
And lo, from the Nile Nahar there came up 7 cows,
See what, look what came out. 7 cows. Listen out.
tubed to the appearance
And they look good.
and choice in the bazaar,
Look, they look edible.
and they grazed in the marsh grass.
Listen to him.
Then behold, 7 other cows came up after them from the Nile Nahar,
And what happened to them?
Rosha in appearance,
And they would listen. They look evil. They look bad. And
thin in the bazaar.
look sick. What happened?
And they stood by the other cows on the bank of the Nile Nahar.
The Nahar is a river, underground stream or a river. The
cows, Rosha in appearance and thin in the bazaar, ate up the 7 cows,
Y'all see what
tubed in
happened?
appearance and choice.
Oh, y'all see that? Look what happened.
Then Pharaoh awoke.
And what happened?
He fell asleep and Kalam a second time.
What happened?
And behold, 7 ears of grain came up on a single stalk,
And?
plump and tube.
Listen, they were ready to eat. Then,
Behold, 7 ears, thin and scorched by the Kadim wind,
which is the east.
sprouted up after them.
Listen.
The thin ears swallowed up the 7 plump and full ears.
Y'all see that? The sick one, the one look bad, they don't swallow up the good one. Then,
Pharaoh awoke,
And?
behold,
It?
was a Kalam.
let's see what happened.
And it came to pass in
When?
the morning,
In the morning.
his ruach was troubled.
And
So he sent and Korah for all the musicians of Mizraim
that's what happened.
and all its Kakma Anashim.
And he called for everybody that had the skill. What happened?
And Pharaoh told them his Kalamu,
He told him his dream.
but there was no interpreter of them to Pharaoh.
What good was he didn't know what it meant. Listen.
Then the Rosh cupbearer
So the head cupbearer.
spoke to Pharaoh, saying,
What did he say?
I mentioned of my kata today.
Yes.
Pharaoh was furious with his Abadim,
Mm-hmm.
and he put me in confinement in the beth of the captain of the bodyguard.
That's what he
Me
looked at. He said for his sin he had committed, Pharaoh had became so angry. Pharaoh had put him in the dungeon. That's in the lower part. So everything he did is somebody what Yahuah gonna do. He gonna put you in the lower parts of the rock. See, years ago, prisons weren't upstairs. All prisons were downstairs. It was always the dungeon. Send them to the dungeon. They always, and guess what? It was dark. They always put you in a dark dungeon place. They put you down in the ground. Okay, listen.
both me and the Sar baker.
And the head baker and the ruling baker. What happened?
He kalam a kalam
And he dreamed a dream
on the same Layla.
on the same day,
He and I,
the same night. What happened?
we each kalam according to the interpretation of our own kalam.
They both dreamed and each one had a different interpretation.
Now an Abari youth, which was with us there,
What they would call a young Hebrew man.
in abad of the captain
And he was a servant of the captain.
of the bodyguard, and we related them to him,
And they related to him. They told him what their dreams was.
and he interpreted our kalamu.
And he
for
told
us.
everyone on what their dream meant.
To each one he interpreted according to his own kalam.
Each one of them, he told them what their dream meant to them.
And it came to pass as he interpreted for us,
What happened?
so it happened.
And he said it happened just like he told them. When they told him the dream, he told them what the dream meant, and that's exactly what happened.
Yes, sir.
Tell them what happened.
He restored me in my office,
And he told the cupbearer, you're going to be put right back up there, right back by Pharaoh, and you're going to be giving him his cup again.
but he hanged him.
And he told the chief baker, he going to cut your head off. That's what it means. You see them birds in your hat. He going to take your head off your shoulders. Go ahead.
Then Pharaoh, Shalak, and Korah for Yusaph,
So Pharaoh told Yusaph that he wanted Yusaph to come to him.
and they made him hasten from the dungeon.
And they heard him from the dungeon.
And when he had shaved himself and changed his clothes,
Yeah.
he came to Pharaoh.
That's what they did. Cleaned himself up. That's when they brought him before him. Listen.
Pharaoh said to Yusaph,
What did he say?
I have kalam a kalam,
I dreamed a dream.
but no one can interpret it.
I found nobody can tell me what the meaning of it is.
And I have shama it said about you,
And I heard it when said about you.
that when you shama a kalam
And
to
then
interpret
when you hear a dream and interpret it,
Yusaph then answered Pharaoh, saying,
what did he say?
Not I,
Not I.
Elohim shall answer a welfare of Pharaoh.
It says actually not me. Elohim, when you tell it to me, he gonna give me the information to
That's
give
right.
me. Elohim not gonna tell him what it means. He got somebody gonna tell it to him. He said it won't be me, it'll be him. Listen.
So Pharaoh spoke to Yusaph.
Uh-huh.
In my kalam, behold, I was standing on the bank of the Nile Nahar,
Yes, on the Nile River.
and behold, 7 cows,
7 cows.
choice in the basar and tube in shape, came up out of the Nile Nahar.
7 of them came up. What
And
happened?
they
They were good
grazed
looking.
in the marsh grass.
And it was in the marsh grass where it's soggy, wet. You know what I'm saying? That marsh, that thick grass. Like that delta out of Mississippi. Come on.
Lo, 7 other cows came up after them,
And 7 other came after them.
poor and very ill-favored,
Poor and very ill-favored. They
and
looked
thin
sick.
in the basar,
Go ahead. They were
such
lean.
as I have never seen for ugliness in all the Arats of Mizraim.
Go ahead.
And the thin and Rosha cows ate up the first 7 choice cows.
Mm-hmm.
Yet when they had entered into their bellies, it could not be known that they had entered into their bellies, for their appearance was Rosha as before.
You see that? The 7 thin, sick one, when they ate up the fat ones, you couldn't even tell about the fat one because the skinny one had ate them up and the skinny one had never even changed their shapes. So you couldn't even tell what happened to them. It's a purpose. Listen.
Then I awoke.
And that's when I woke up.
I saw also in my kalam,
I
and
saw
behold,
also.
7 ears full and good
He saw 7 ears a week, full, thick. What happened?
came up on a single stalk.
Yes.
And lo, 7 ears withered, thin, and scorched by the Kadim wind
By the
sprouted
wind.
up after them.
The wind. See that in the heat. They had them beat them up and they were thin. They looked sick. What happened?
And the thin ears swallowed the 7 tube ears.
And they swallowed up the 7 good years.
Then I told it to the magicians,
And I told it to my magicians.
but there was no one who could explain it to me.
Nobody could tell it to me. Come on.
Now Yusaph said to Pharaoh,
What did he say?
Pharaoh's kalam are one and
He
the
said
same.
the two. So get what he just told. He told the same thing that Adam told you when he got Yahuah. He said the 2 should be one.
That's right.
He said the 2 should be one. Where you get that from? Go figure. He said you saw 2 dreams. He says really one. Listen.
Elohim has told to Pharaoh what he is about to do.
You said Elohim finna tell Pharaoh what?
Elohim has told to Pharaoh what he is about to do.
But he gonna tell it through Yusaph. Why
That's
he
right.
don't tell him himself?
That's right.
That's the same thing Yahushua told you. You ain't heard his voice at any time.
That's right.
But who he sent. And you gotta believe it.
That's right.
He ain't gonna hear not one word from Elohim's mouth, from his mouth. Literally, he gonna hear it from Yoseph's mouth. And that's the same word that Elohim said.
That's right.
He said interpretation from Elohim.
That's right.
You don't hear me talking, but it's coming from him. Come on.
Then 7 tube cows. The 7 tube cows, they are 7 shanim.
Those are 7 years,
And the 7 tube ears,
and the 7 good years,
they are 7 shanim.
they are 7 good years. Those are 7 years.
The kalamuth are one and the same.
See that? They one and the same. Come on.
The 7 thin and Rosha cows that came up after them, they are 7 shanim.
Those are 7 years.
And the 7 thin ears, scorched by the Kadim wind, shall be 7 shanim of famine.
And those 7 years of famine.
This is the debar, is as I have spoken to Pharaoh.
What happened?
Elohim has shown to Pharaoh what he does.
Now look at it. So Elohim came out and showed it to him? He did it through, Yosef the one doing all the talking.
That's right.
He's saying what Elohim doing. Elohim ain't saying nothing to Pharaoh.
That's right.
Because he's talking through a man. He's talking through a man. Come on, son.
Behold, 7 shanim of great abundance are coming in all the Arats of Mizraim.
So that the whole of Iraq gonna have 7 years of tube.
And after them 7 shanim of famine shall come,
It's gonna be 7 years of famine after that.
and all the abundance shall be forgotten in the land of Mizraim.
See that? That's what he was trying to show him. When those 7 thin cows ate up them 7 fat cows, you couldn't see the difference. Because you know what? It's a distant memory to you. That famine gonna be so hard on you, those 7 good years ain't even gonna count.
That's right.
There'll be a distant memory.
That's right.
When that famine coming, gonna be that bad. Them 7 plump ears you seen a week, the 7 thin one that sucked them up and they were still gone, the famine gonna be that drastic on you. You won't even remember the good years or the fat years. Listen.
And the famine shall ravage the Arats.
See that? He said that thing here gonna take over the whole of Rice. It's gonna move from Mizraim, it's gonna cross the whole of Rice, the whole land. Come on.
So the abundance shall be not known in the Arats because of that subsequent famine, for it shall be very severe.
Listen.
Now, as for the repeating of the kalam to Pharaoh twice,
Tell him the reason why you saw it twice, Pharaoh. Tell him why, son.
it means that the matter is determined by the Elohim.
That's the only reason you tell him. At the mouth of two witnesses, he said, let every word be established. He said, that's why you saw it 2 times, but I assure you, it ain't but one. It ain't but one. Y'all got it? All right, I'm trying to tell you. Who should try to tell you that? You heard it from the Father, you heard it from Yahushua. It don't make no difference. He said, it ain't but one. He told you Elohim is one. You heard it from the Father and the Son. He let you know, it ain't but one. Just like he saw these dreams. He said, it's 2, but it ain't but one. That's why they confused in these churches. Come on.
And the Elohim is hasting to do it.
And he said he going to hurry up and do it.
Yes, sir.
Come on.
Now let Pharaoh look for an east discerning and Chokmah.
He want to look for somebody that's discerning, who can figure this kind of stuff out. And somebody who got a skill.
Yes, sir.
What happened?
And set him over the Arats of Mizraim.
So he could set him over the Arats of Mizraim.
Let Pharaoh act, and let him appoint overseers in charge of the Arats.
Start what you got. Let me see something real quick. Mattathyahu right quick. They call it, it's Mattathyahu. That's the gift of Yahuah. Mattathyahu. Something say about 1 in 10, I think. So. Let me see. Listen.
Kaskiyah, Abba, Manasseh, Manasseh, Abba, Ammon,
It don't make no sense. Don't worry about it. Keep going.
and Ammon, Abba, Yoshiyahu, Yoshiyahu, Abba, Yahuchanan, and his Akim at the time of the exile to Babel. After the exile to Babel, Yahuchanan, Abba, Shetiel, and Shetiel, Abba, Zerubbabel. Zerubbabel, Abba, Abihud, Abihud, Abba, Alikim, and Alikim, Abba, Azur.
Oh, yeah, just talking. Come on.
Azur, Abba, Sadak,
What verse you at?
verse 14.
Keep going.
Sadak, Abba, Hakim, and Hakim, Abba, Elihud. And Elihud, Abba, Eleazar, Abba, Matan, and Matan, Abba, Jacob. Jacob, Abba, Yusaph, the husband of Marim, from whom Yahushua was born,
What happened?
who is Kara Mashiach.
Yeah, he called him Mashiach. What
Yes,
about
sir.
him?
And behold, all of Tuledath.
And all the what now?
Tuledath.
All the generation?
Yes, sir.
Of what?
From Abraham to Daoud
What is that?
were 14 Tuledath.
What is 7 and 7? What else?
From Daoud until the exile of Babel
What was that?
were 14
7 and
Tuledath.
7 is what? I'm so confused. What happened?
And from the exile to Babel until Mashiach were 14 Tuledath.
I'm just confused. Let's see what 21 says. Same book, same book. I'm confused. This is the 21st verse of the same book.
Yes, sir.
What happened?
And she is given birth to a Ben, and you shall call his Shem Yahushua,
Why you gonna name him Yahushua?
for he shall save his arm from their Kataim.
What was the purpose of putting Yusaph up there for Mizraim?
Save the arm.
To do what? Go figure. All you need is somebody skilled.
That's right.
See, all they were trying to show you why Yahushua was able to take his position.
That's right.
They called him out, he can understand how the 14 work.
Yeah.
And that's why he was explaining about how he came along and let you know all these generations go from 14.
Yes,
That'd be
sir.
7 to 7.
That's
And notice they want to put it, he gonna save their people from their Kataim.
That's right.
Same thing Yosef did. Listen, if I knew what I was doing, I'd be a bad man. People don't know, I'd be good with this stuff I knew what I was doing.
Yeah.
See, you ain't don't understand why they put him up to save their people. That's the same thing real out with him. He knew what 14 to 14 was too. He knew how it all worked. That's why he put him up there. See, a lot of stuff that people try to learn and try to use, they really don't know what they're doing. A lot of people really not proficient in this job. See, they'll just tell why, cause he is son. I know, that's a good answer. That's a good answer for people who don't know what they're talking about. See, there's a purpose. You said there's an order why he got their position. Yusaph got his position because he understood the numbers. He was skilled in knowing how to save the people. So all he did was just came along and gave you some numbers. He knew you weren't going to pay attention to it, but not I. He knew it and let you know what they were going to do with it. He was going to save his people. You know what they thought? You know what they thought Yusaph was? They thought he was one of Mizraim. That was his people. They thought he was a Mizraite. That's why he put him up, so he could save his people from the famine. Okay, don't worry about it. Come back to the same book right quick. See that 44 right quick. Let me see 44 and 1. Ra Shyth, 44 and 1. We just play with it. Let's see where it go. I'm telling you, listen, one of these days, I'm gonna give me some teaching. I'm gonna go on there at www. and get me one of them sermons off of them. So that's at 44 and 1. Let's see where they go. Let's see where they go. Listen.
Then he commanded the one which is over his beth, saying, fill the anashim sack with food, as much as they are able to carry, and put each one's money in the mouth of his sack. Put my cup, the silver cup, in the mouth of the sack of the youngest.
My fast stop for you right now. Well, we'll finish this. We got somewhere to go right quick. Come on.
And his money for the grain. And he did according to the debar that Yusaph had spoken.
And he did according to what Yusaph had spoke.
Yes, sir.
Drop down, drop down about verse 13, 15.
Yes, sir.
Listen.
Verse 13. Then they tore their clothes, and when each one placed on his kamor, they returned to the city.
Because he sent his Aberdeen, I'm trying to move through, he sent his Aberdeen through to go and search the bag. He had stuck stuff in their bag. He sent them to go and search it. Out of their own mouth, they told him, you find the stuff among us. Said, we'll be your Aberdeen. Anybody you find your cup with, said, we'll be your servant. Come on.
When Yehudah and his Hakim came to Yusaph Beth, he was still there, and they fell to the Adamah before him.
See that they fell to the ground before him.
Yusaph said to them,
what did he say?
What is this deed that you have done?
He want to know, what is this you did?
Do you not know that such a ish as I can practice discernment?
You see that? He said, you don't know a person like me can discern? What happened?
So Yehudah said, what can we say to my Adon?
He said, what can we say? You know what we done done. Since you know, I mean, what we can say.
That's right.
Come on.
What can we speak? And how can we justify ourselves?
He said, I don't even know how we can justify this. We got the man cup. Come on.
The Elohim has found out the iniquity of your Abadim.
See that? He let you know, you do something wrong, it's going to come back up.
That's right.
He said, their wrong was they sold their brother.
That's right.
And that thing done popped back up in a whole nother matter.
Yep.
Come on.
Behold, as we are my Adon's Abadim, both we and the one in whom possession the cup has been found.
You see what they just said? They said that they became his servant. Who actually had the cup was Ben Yamim, which is the son of my days. That's who had the cup in his bag. But what they wound up putting out their mouth saying, if you find a cup among us, all of us will be your Abadim. All of us will be your servant. You ain't gonna believe it. Yahusha was his Abadim. That's why he told him to sit down here at my right hand.
That's right.
That was the son of Yamim. He was the son of his right hand.
That's right.
He was Benjamin. That's why he took the cup when they sat down in the Yahuah and gave it to them. Because the book told you, he said, whoever took the cup. The book told you that Yahusha took the cup and he gave it to them. Which guess what he just did? He just made all of us Abadim. Pay attention. Listen.
But he said, far be it from me to do this. The Ish in whose hand the cup has been found, he shall be my abad.
The person had that cup, he said, that's what I'm going to do. That's who's going to be my servant. Come on.
But as for you, go up in shalom to your Abba.
He told y'all go in the peace of your daddy. Come on.
Then Yehudah approached him and said,
Then Yehudah approached him saying, who is he talking to?
O my Adon.
Hold on, who is he talking to though? Yusaph?
Yes, sir.
Oh, go ahead.
O my Adon.
Oh, my Adon.
May your abad please speak a debar in my Adon's ear.
Listen, may your servant please speak to you in your ear. Why?
And do not be angry with your abad.
Please don't be angry with your servant.
For you are like to Pharaoh.
That's amazing. He just said, you just like Pharaoh. I want to ask y'all a question. In the reading, if you go back and read the 41st chapter where they started at and get over the 41st verse, you know what's going to be very interesting. You never found where they saw Pharaoh.
Right. That's right.
You never found where they talked to Pharaoh.
That's right.
But for some reason, they recognized his working, that he was the same as. Back to that 41st chapter right quick. Jump down about verse 46, 41 right quick. Don't take long. Only reason I had to go here because we jumped off in that 5th chapter. We started talking. I don't want people to look like my man don't know what he talking about. Yahuah know what he talking about. You just need somebody to know what they're doing. See, people have misrepresented him so poorly. What I said, one about 45, 41, 45, I think.
41, 45?
Let's see what it says.
Yes, sir.
We might have up, down a little bit. Let's see how it work out. There's still Ra Shyth in the height beginning. Listen.
Then Pharaoh called the Shem, Yusaph, Saphanath, Pinach, and he gave him Asnath, the Bath of Potiphar, Kahan of On, as his Ashah, and Yusaph went forth over the Arats of Mizraim.
Listen what happened.
Now Yusaph was 30 Shanim old when he stood before Pharaoh.
As it was supposed.
That's right.
That being the 3rd chapter, about the 23rd verse of the book of Oriah. Listen.
Malak of Mizraim. So Yusaph went out from the presence of Pharaoh and went through all the Arats of Mizraim. During the 7 Shanim of plenty, the Arats brought forth abundantly. So he gathered all the food of these 7 Shanim, which were in the Arats of Mizraim, and he put the food in the cities, the food of the field of the city, which was around it, he put in the middle of it.
Listen.
Thus Yusaph stored up grain in great abundance, like the sand of the Yam, until he ceased to count it.
Hands. Who know what he's talking about?
Without number.
Reference. Reference for what you just heard. I got one back down. Tell me what you got a heart. Abraham. Tell him how Abraham. And he told him it's going to be at the sand of the sea. He told him his descendant going to be at the sand of the sea, so he let you know what he's going to get in that bond. What Yusaph did was a parallel of what Yahuah did. He told Abraham that your descendant going to be like the Kukabim. They're going to be numbered. And they're going to be like the sand of the sea, which is the Yam. Go figure. You had to see it figuratively. You had to see it literally to understand it figuratively. Listen. The only reason they told you the sand of the sea, he had so much we couldn't count it.
That's right.
That'll go with the 7th chapter book of Kazum. When you read down, he told you 7, he kept telling you about 12,000, 1,244. Then you're going to say he saw a number.
Couldn't count.
Which no man could number. Probably like the sand of the sea.
Yes, sir.
Go figure. Listen.
Now, before the Shana of famine came,
what happened?
2 Bani were born to Yusaph. From Asnath, the Bath of Potiphar, the Kahan of On, bore to him. Yusaph carved the Shem of the firstborn, Manasseh, for Elohim had made me forget all my trouble and all my Abba's beth.
See that? He said, made me forget all. That's why his name meant. He made me forget all my troubles. Listen.
He carved the Shem of the second, Ephraim, for he said, Elohim has made me Pari.
Y'all ain't gonna believe something. You wanna hear that? You know the book told you in about the 7th chapter of the book of Kazum that Elohim was gonna wipe away all the, what was that? From the who? Call it Manasseh. He gonna make you forget all the trouble you had in this house down here. That's what it's gonna be, Manasseh. Where did you get the trouble from? That's what he gonna make you forget all about it. What gonna so you ain't on white tear? How many y'all on white tear? Then they stop? What make them stop? Somebody might change the conversation, something different. Guess what happened? Manasseh. I'm gonna wipe all tears from your eyes. All I'm gonna do is make you forget all your sorrows. Oh, come on, people. Y'all smarter than that. Pay attention when you read. Listen.
For he said, Elohim has made me Pari in the Arats of my affliction.
See that? The man gonna make you abundant. Listen.
When the 7 Shanim of plenty, which had been in the Arats of Mizraim, were ended, and the 7 Shanim of famine began to come, just as Yusaph had said.
It was just like he said it. What happened?
Then there was a famine in all the Arats.
What happened?
But in all the Arats of Mizraim, there was Lakam.
What happened? That was bread there, though.
Yes, sir.
Come on.
So when all the Arats of Mizraim was famished, the sayak out to Pharaoh.
They cried out to Pharaoh.
And Pharaoh said to all the Mizrites.
What did he say?
Go to Yusaph.
Go to who?
Yusaph.
And why?
Whatever he says to you.
Whatever he say, you come tell me about it.
You shall do.
That's how he knew he was like Pharaoh. It don't make sense to go ask Pharaoh nothing. He ain't do nothing but send me straight back to you.
That's right.
Go figure. Go figure. Back at the 5th chapter, I'm going to finish out. I'm trying to finish out the 5th chapter of Yahuchanan. Jump me back up right quick. 5:17. 5:17. We'll just jump down that road a little bit. Put some wheels on.
Yes, sir.
It don't take that long. My boss is very good. I hire my boss. He's very good. Very intelligent man I work for. He's of the highest level of intelligence. This is the 5th chapter of the book of Yahuchanan. 5:17. Tell me what you're doing, son.
Yahushua answered them,
This is what he said.
Abi carries out his action even until now.
Get what he said. He said, Abi carry out his action even to now. So Pharaoh did. And tell him what you do, son.
And I also take action.
You ain't going to believe it. Yusaph said, I take action too.
Yes, sir.
He said, Pharaoh still Pharaoh, and you ain't going to believe it. And I'm still working.
That's right.
Talk to me, son.
Then the Yahudim sought his Kai even more.
They started to kill him then. Come on.
Because not only was he breaking the Shabbat,
But did what?
but he also said that the Elohim is his Abba
Doing what?
and compared himself to Elohim.
So what you think that happened when he sat around and when Yahudah just told you that he was even as Pharaoh, what was he telling you that he was equal to, equivalent? And that was because of his working. See, he understood that from watching how Yusaph worked. They got mad when Yahusha said, if you'd have paid attention, I'm doing the same thing Yusaph did. I just said it out of my mouth. Nobody tried to stone Yusaph, did they? He like, why y'all trying to kill me? I'm just doing the work that Yusaph did. Listen.
Yahushua answered and said to them,
What did he tell them?
Aman, I say
He said,
to you,
he said, believe it now. This is a truth.
the Ben is not able to do anything of his Nephash
You know, Yusaph could do what he want to do himself. Tell him what happened, son.
except what he sees the Abba doing.
Tell him what happened.
For what he does, the Ben shall also do likewise.
That's what Pharaoh had him to do. Pharaoh set him up, let him do what he did. He put everybody under his hand. He said, all I'm doing is what he did. Go ahead.
For the Abba, Ahab, the Ben,
He a hard man. What you think he did with to show you that? I'm showing you. He never told you that. I'm gonna prove when you listen to him say it. This is how he told you how you know the Abba Ahab to be. This is how we know that the Father loved the Son. Tell him how, son.
and teaches him all that he himself does.
How would Yusaph be able to make every call in that he want to make unless Pharaoh showed him how to?
That's right.
That's how we know he loved him.
That's right.
Listen.
And the Abba shall teach him even greater works than these, so that you shall be amazed.
See, that's so you be amazed. Come on.
For just as the Abba awakens and revives the moot,
What happened?
so the Ben also shall revive whomever he desires.
He said, whoever I want to, I can give it to him. Come on.
For the Abba does not Shaphat anymore.
He said that Pharaoh don't even judge no more. What'd he do?
Rather, he has given Mashpah entirely into the hand of the Ben.
So when he told everybody to go back to Yusaph, whatever he say do it, what was that telling you? That told you he looked at him as a son. That told you he had made him the ruler, that he could do whatever he do, and he showed him. See, conversation allowed in it what you need to know. He just told you, he said the Abba don't even judge no more. He gave it to me. The only way for me to understand that, I got to know about Yusaph and Pharaoh. And I have to know that Pharaoh saw him as a son. That's why he put it in his hands. When they fought, when he tried to tell them, this man my father, they say, you crazy, that man not your father. Listen, he put everything in my hand. That's what a father does to the son. He made him become the rightful heir. Whew. Come on back to 5:36. We ain't take that long. Come on, 5:36. I try to finish y'all out here. Come on.
I have greater testimony than the testimony of Yahuchanan.
Listen.
The deeds that Abi has given me to complete. These deeds that I perform testify about me, that the Abba has shalak me.
Let me ask y'all a question. He said the works he did testified and verified that who he was. So how exactly did Yahudah know that he was even as Pharaoh? Because Pharaoh told him that.
Those deeds.
See, it ain't hard if you pay attention to reading. That's how he knew that you're even as Pharaoh. You can do the same thing he does. You operate doing what he does. There is no need for me to go. If I'm going to plead for mercy, if I'm going to plead for vindication, I got to come to you. You ain't going to believe it. If I want to be right and get vindication, I'm going to have to talk to Yahushua. Ain't no use of me going no two sideways about it. Because when I go to the Abba, you know what they're going to tell me? you carry your little narrow black behind straight back to the bin. And whatever he say do it. Listen.
The Abba who shalak me, he has testified of me.
See that? Who you think told the people in Mizraim they were going to be ruled by Yusaph? He testified to it. You ain't going to believe it. The writings testify because the Father orchestrated all of the writings that told you about him. See, this is not hard. See, typically years ago when they wrote, even with the Romans, whenever they spake, they made people write it.
That's right.
So they could keep it as an order for
That's
this
right.
is what we're going to do.
That's right.
Go to court and see how much they just thought. I mean, the people got clerks right there keeping the order of it.
That's right.
So you can go back and you can read the transcript.
That's right.
No, so only way he put that down so you can play dumb you want to. You understand the order. Yeah. That's exactly why they got somebody said everything they saying going to court, run that back. They said stop, run back over what's said. The prosecutor got something that the defense questioned something that the prosecutor run back through the tape. This is what he gonna use on you. Come on.
You have never Shama his call or
You ain't never seen. You ain't never did what?
Shama his call.
They never heard his voice.
Or have not seen his form.
That's how I know they never seen it. I know for a fact they never seen Pharaoh, but yet he knew that he was as Pharaoh.
That's right.
This is what I do for a living.
That's right.
Yahushua just told you, you ain't never seen the Abu.
That's right.
You ain't never even seen his shape.
That's right.
You got to believe who he sent. And guess what? Yahuwah believe who he sent. He ain't never in there talking about one time I peeked and I see that black joker. You ain't never seen Pharaoh. And you ain't never heard their voice. All right, come on.
His debar does not reside within you.
See that his word don't provide, and you know why he know his word don't provide to you? If I told you to do something on the sun, you don't do it. The word ain't in you, because Pharaoh gave a decree that everybody supposed to obey me.
That's right.
See, I can explain it to you and get you straight. That's how I can prove out. See, I had to run all the way back there and brought you straight back.
Yeah.
I appreciate my boss man.
That's right.
Boss man, that's how I know you ain't got it. I watch it. I know you ain't got it. Because you did, you obey who he sent.
That's right.
That's all that. The Pharaoh gave a decree to all Mizraim. I said, get up, Canaan. No. Say, get up. The word ain't in it. He don't believe Pharaoh's word not one bit. Because if he did, he'd have believed me. Because Pharaoh told him he supposed to do what I tell him. You can't tell, you don't know nothing about me. Of course, that's because you stupid. Do know you. Your actions show you out like his actions show him out. Is it clear for you? Yes, listen.
Because you do not aman in the one he shalak.
See? Go ahead.
Search the Ketubim.
Why?
In which you say that you have in them alam kai.
The reason he'd have told you that, every people always kept their writings. You can go back there and find historical writing for any group of people. So you know when you go back through, you can read back through it and you can find out what the legends say. He telling them people, go back through your writings. Because you thinking you right. But in them, tell them what they're doing, son.
They testify about me.
You ain't gonna believe it. You can go, listen, man, I'm gonna tell you something. They're good with it. You go back and look at hieroglyphics. In that hieroglyphic, when you go to Mizraim, which is the right with pictogram, you can see a figure that show you that these rulers actually existed during that time. You can look over Moshe. They can show you in their writing while Moshe did exist and rule. He has a difference in his ruling than they had over there. They can look, there was one that ruled over them that didn't come from them. So that's why I tell you, go back through your writings. You can go back through hieroglyphics, you can go through the Roman, you can go through the Greek, you can go through the Latin. They're going to come straight back to where I'm telling you right now. You think you got eternal life? They talking about him. But tell them what's going to happen, son.
Yet you do not want to come to me.
For what reason?
To have kai in you.
And get what he told you. No east can come out of me except the Abba which sent me drawing. Now you know what you're saying? I wonder why I ain't got that mood on me to come yet. Because you ain't trying to be saved. You don't want to be saved. He just told, he said, why when you come, I'm trying to trade, why when you come? Because you don't want to be saved. That's showing you again, the problem can be you.
Yep.
He just told you, no, later he's going to tell you, no east can come here and say the Abba which sent me drawing. Why he just saying now you can't come to me?
That's right.
That you might have, you don't want to get it.
That's right.
Because you have some defect, deficiency in your life that you don't want to repair, you don't want to get rid of. He just telling the people, listen, I'm trying to tell you, man, trying to cure them people. All I'm trying to do is cure people.
That's right.
Listen.
I shall not accept honor from the Bani of Adam.
He said, I don't want that. He said, I don't need no honor from nobody come from Adam. He said, please, I'm not worried about what these people say. Listen what he said, son.
I certainly know you, that you do not have the ahab of Elohim within you.
And let me tell you why he don't want the honor of men among him. What group of people set him up over Mizraim? Y'all remember the group of the people? One man?
Yes, sir.
Pharaoh,
That's
who was
right.
considered the father.
That's right.
That's why he didn't want your honor, because you can't do nothing for me anyway.
That's right. That's right.
Look at the fact that who put him over Mizraim? Pharaoh did. That's why he said, I don't accept honor from people. Don't worry about it. He said, I don't accept honor from men. I accept the honor come from the Abba. Because that's the decree that gave him the rule. Okay, it ain't hard. I know. Yeah, stay mystical. Go to one of them crazy places. It's plain. Listen.
I, behold, have come in the Shem of Abi.
See that? You ain't gonna believe it. Guess how Yusaph came? They knew him in Yusaph, but he operated under the rule, under the title of who? Pharaoh. That was the only reason to accept him, because you're under his rule. He has established the decree that you're sent from him. That's why why you think we honor Yahushua? Because of the honor he got from Abba. That's why he said, I don't need no honor from you. Come on.
But you have not accepted me.
Why?
If another comes in his own Shem,
Tell him what happened.
you shall accept him.
See that? Somebody come, and have been sent by a higher authority, you'll accept them.
Yep.
Come on.
How are you able to amon, you who accept the kabod from one another,
He said, y'all get honor to each other. What can you really do? Listen.
but do not seek the kabod that is from Elohim only?
That's who you need to be seeking it from. Listen.
Do not think that I shall accuse you before Abi.
He said, don't even worry about it. They're going to stay between you. It won't come from me. I won't accuse you to Pharaoh. Tell him what happened, son.
Musha, in whom you call,
It's
the
somebody
one
else.
who accuses against you.
You know what? That's who set this up against you with Musha. That's who actually put it up, because he told you that he was going to raise up a Nabal. He said he going to be like me. That's what Musha said. He going to be just like me. And whoever don't hear him, you're going to be smitten out the face of the whole alarm. Yahuwah said, Yahushua letting you know, listen, mum's the word. This coming from Musha. He's the one condemning you, because he the one told you about him. This is what he told you.
For if you would only amon Musha,
He said, don't even pray. Had you just believed Musha,
you would also amon me.
you'd have believed. Tell him what he did, son.
For he wrote about me.
That's the Qatar. We too. Appreciate it. Wonderful history.